Brother Gossip.
Hello? Oh my god. Okay. Mike, Scott, and Colette. I don't know. What the fuck? I know.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Big Brother Gossip.
Austin kissed me, and it was so gross.
I don't like Austin. What the fuck?
No. Vanessa.
Big Brother Gossip.
Stop. You're so flirty with him. Did you do our laundry? You're such a bitch.
And he tried to kiss me, but he's in our alliance. And Julia's just a cock blocker.
Forget about it. Enzo, I know.
John, are you gonna use the veto on me if you win?
That whining may work on the guys down in Miami, but that's not gonna work on me.
Big Brother Gossip.
An oldie but a goodie there as we start off this week's Big Brother Gossip Show. And by the way, those that are on Patreon at a certain level will get a copy of that audio here in the next few days. I'm Scott Hudson from Live Ledge, the Argus leader in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and also BigBrotherGossip.com. And I am joined by my cohort at Big Brother Gossip and also Big Brother Podcast, Mike.
Hello, Scott. Hello, everyone. And I won't say hello to that other person until you introduce them.
She is the beautiful and talented, and Mike said she's even dressed really well tonight.
That's not what you... God. Fine.
She's also the co-host of The Bonus Show, which we'll be talking about in a bit. Of course, I'm talking about Colette. La 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 la.
Good evening, gentlemen. I mean, all the gentlemen except for Mike.
Oh, if you guys could only hear what we talk about before we go on the air.
Yep.
We are a fun bunch.
Yep.
All right. Well, before we get to the shows, we do have some business to talk about. Starting off with the fact that next week we will be on at a special day and time instead of Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Due to some scheduling issues, we will be on Sunday afternoon, probably about 4 p.m., maybe 5 p.m. Eastern time. We haven't decided yet, but we're going to be bumping it back a day.
And this is only for next week, you guys. I have to go out of town for a night, and I don't have access to wireless and all this good stuff. So this is just a one-week thing. We'll be back to normal afterwards.
Yes, it was either me and Mike do a show together alone, which is like, a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, we've done it before.
Or we wait 24 hours, and we decided to wait 24 hours. We didn't want to skip any shows.
And we didn't want to do it too early. We want to make sure to get in all that good POV stuff that's going to happen. So,
right.
we discussed Friday, but we thought, I think we're going to miss a lot of stuff that our listeners are going to want to hear. So we thought Sunday afternoon would be the best before the CBS network show.
Right.
Right.
And yes, some people are like, "Oh, I can't make that one." Well, it's okay. It'll go up, and you'll listen to it later.
It'll still be on iTunes. And then a lot of people that can't make the Saturday night
Yeah.
one, they might be able to make the Sunday afternoon
There are
one.
some people
It's
that can get
just
to
1
listen
week.
to it live for a change.
Yeah.
It's just 1 week. It's okay.
And it will be up on iTunes probably before Sunday night's broadcast starts.
Right.
Odds are, depending on how wordy we are Sunday afternoon. But
who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I heard you guys were day drinking, but I probably won't be day drinking. So.
We'll talk about that in a second here.
All right, fine.
But it's time for our weekly Roku hype from Miss
I will keep
Lala.
it quick. It's good. This is going to be quick, you guys. Okay. So remember, if you still need to get a Roku, please head to ColetteLala.com. I have links for all 3 models on the right-hand side of the page. I actually bought myself a second one this week.
Yay!
And I didn't do the streaming stick like I thought I was going to. I thought I'd get the streaming stick and stick it in my bedroom as like a second one. I decided to go with the Roku 3 because everybody was raving about how you can plug the headphones into like the remote or something. And basically, so with these headphones, listening to the feeds that are on your TV, you can hear the house guests whispering. You can understand everything they say. And if you like have to go to the bathroom or leave the room or go to your laundry room or wherever, walk around your house doing whatever chores you have to do, you can still hear the feeds. Oh my God, this is amazing. So I had to be a part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fancy Roku 3 in my living room, and I'm going to move my old Roku 2 that I've had for several years into my bedroom. And so I'm all set.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome.
That is ColetteLala.com.
That's right. For all your Amazon needs.
Yes.
All right. Then I'm not going to spend a half hour talking about Patreon like we did last week, but we did need to describe it better than, so we did. And, who cares? We still did a great show otherwise. But we do have to thank everybody who has supported us. We broke the 100 Patreon mark today.
Yay.
We love that. Go to patreon.com/BigBrotherGossip. We are now in the search engines and et cetera, et cetera. Even if it's just $1 or $2, every little bit helps us and it makes us smile that much more.
Yes. As some know, that I signed up on Patreon just to test it out for myself to see how it works. So
you silly boy.
Scott, did you mention PayPal? The PayPal?
Yes, and you can now use PayPal.
So for those of you that asked about using PayPal, I couldn't get it to work very easily for me. What I ended up doing was going into I created a Patreon account for myself. I logged into my account settings and added my Patreon or my PayPal account through that. Then I could add it. If you try to add it in the middle and the first thing you're trying to be a Patreon, it doesn't work well. So do that. And I did it on a computer. My phone wasn't working right, so I jumped to my computer to do it.
Yes. So it's easier than it was, but there's still some minor difficulties. Be patient.
And one other quick note: if you're going to subscribe, you can subscribe to a set dollar amount, just a one-time thing, or you can become at a different level. And that very top one is the one-time thing. Scroll down if you want to donate per podcast, which is what most people do.
Okay. We do have to thank a few special people, including our associate producers, Aslan Deacon. Is that how you say her name, Colette?
Aslan or Aslan?
Aslan
I always think Aslan in my head, but I don't know.
Okay, and Danielle Hears, Hires. Cece, who I added on Twitter today. She's a lovely woman. And Nick Labazetta, our good friend. And we also now have 2 executive producers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Linda Snow and Allison Hargroves. Who's been a great supporter of us through all the years we've done this. I guess we help her on her morning commute. But Allison is not just an executive producer. She is a super sponsor. And I got a piece of audio to play. For $50 or more per podcast episode, we will do anything you want. That
have
is
sex with you.
That is the super sponsor level. Okay, you heard it here.
Yes.
Mike,
Scott,
note where that happened so we could, cut that for later.
I got it.
Wait a second. I need to hear that again. That is
sex with. Shut up, you guys! Oh my God!
Oh wait! I need to hear that one more time.
That is sex with you.
Slow motion. Definitely. I heard it.
Oh my God!
Yes, we love our super sponsors.
Thank you, Allison.
You are one lucky lady, Allison.
Look for a DM coming from that reason.
And also, this past week, Colette and I did our very first bonus show that we kind of called Day Drinking with Scott and Colette.
Yes.
And what we thought was going to be a 90-minute show turned out to be 2.5 hours.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And because we enjoyed ourselves so much and we want more and more people to hear it, we did drop the price to access that show. We started off at $10 per week. We dropped it now to $3 per week. So if you give us $3 a week, you get a couple extra hours of Colette and I babbling, laughing, and drinking.
It's going to be
Yeah, so
needed
we
to cover
covered
the
last-
treatment plan when
Yeah.
they.
we covered Southern Charm and the Real Housewives of Orange County.
And also a lengthy to-watch list from Colette, too.
Oh, shut up! I know I went to. By that time, I was like 2.5 drinks in. I was, yeah.
I know.
It went a little long. I'll keep it much more brief this next time.
No, it was
But-
a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing
Yeah.
it. And for our first show doing it, I thought we did really well. We'll only get better.
Yes.
All right, and one more Patreon note. And this is going to be kind of fun. It will be a fun feature every single week. The $7.50 level allows people to submit questions to us. And so every week we will read a couple from the Big Brother Gossip mailbag. So we're going to start off. Anthony Blaylock sent us a handful of questions. Some
That's
of them will...
Ant-Man.
What?
That's Ant-Man, I think.
Yes. Some of them will be answered really when we get to the meat of the show. But he did also ask for Colette and myself, who is your favorite housewife? I'll go first.
Okay.
It used to be Gretchen from Real Housewives of OC. But I kind of got over her, but I thought she was a beautiful woman and kind of fun. And then there's been some that have come and gone over the years that have started out to be great, and then they end up being complete train wrecks. Brandy Glanville fits that category, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, she was never my favorite.
I
liked
loved her. I loved her
but
the first
that
season.
completely changed, and now I hate her.
Yeah, so I guess now I would have to. This is the safe guess or safe choice, Lisa Vanderpump.
Did you just call her Vanderbump?
Okay.
I don't know who these people are, so I'm just going to be quiet.
Not Vanderbump.
Okay. As long as I can make Colette laugh, that's all that matters.
That was funny. Okay.
Okay, who do you think?
Okay. Can I just tell you that the minute that I saw this question, I took it very seriously. And I thought long and hard about it. I went through all the seasons. I went through all the people. So the quality I loathe in a housewife the most is phoniness. If they're acting, if they're pretending to be something that they're not, if they're pushing their silly agendas, if they try to make themselves appear flawless and better than they really are, that drives me fucking crazy. So having said that, a couple years ago, I probably would have said Carol Radswell.
Yes.
I thought she was super cool, fun. I love the way she dressed. She dressed amazing. And she seemed to be above the snark. She just liked to look down and kind of laugh at everybody. Plus, she was uber rich, a writer, very glamorous, just a hip loft and downtown, etc. But this season, Bethany has essentially neutered her and made her useless, along with that stupid boyfriend of hers. And now she rides around the city in the basket of a bicycle, which is ridiculous. So, yeah, she's ridiculous now, and she's even stopped wearing cool clothes. She looks so stupid. She's got baggy, ill-fitting, skinny jeans, and I think it's because of that dumb vegan boyfriend of hers. And yeah, she flaked on her last book deal, and now she likes kittens. So it's very disappointing. So going through all of that and doing all this hard studying, it turns out I love the old Vanderbump as well. too. She's entertaining in that way that there's like always controversy around her. She's a little sneaky. She's a little shady. She's funny and snarky. She lives an amazing life in an amazing house, but I don't feel like she's constantly throwing it in my face. She has legitimate businesses and she works for her money. And most importantly, she's not phony.
Right.
So there, we didn't even talk to each other about this at all, by the way.
No,
So
we're keeping these questions fresh.
That's pretty funny.
And you can hear more of this discussion on the next bonus episode of the Big Brother Gossip Show.
You're so bored, but people love this. I'm telling you. They understand the passion. They get it. This is important stuff here.
It's all
right, our second question, and I think this is a great one. This is from Ben Brody. What?
This was good. This was really
good.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a point where you almost quit Big Brother? As in more than just a season, no more Big Brother, period. I came close with He Who Must Not Be Named, which I love that part of his question. Yes. I think Mike should go first with this one.
Yeah, Mike, no. That's my answer.
Really?
No, I've never come close. You know what? Okay, hold on. maybe about halfway through Big Brother 10, because we were on a 3 back-to-back-to-back run, and I think I was probably getting really burned out. But that and that Big Brother 10 wasn't very good.
Right, it was terrible.
And so yeah, that would, I mean, if I had to pick one, that would have to be it, because it was just the writer's strike was in that year, and so they put Big Brother 9 on in the winter. For those of you that wanted a winter series, there it was, and that was a real edgy series. But then
I love
Big Brother
that
10,
one.
Yeah, Big Brother 9 had all kinds of wacky stuff, Crazy James and the pool and just all kinds of fun stuff. And then they really tamed it down for Big Brother 10, and it was the third in a row.
Was that Orgy Night?
Orgy Night in the pool.
Yeah, that was great.
And
That was a beautiful season.
Chelsea and Natalie dancing topless in the living room or whatever they were. Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
And when Big Brother After Dark was on Showtime and not on, yes.
Yeah.
Ah, the good old days. That would have been it.
Colette?
Okay, have I ever wanted to quit Big Brother? I think about it every single year. No, I have quit watching the feeds before, the coaches' seasons and some other ones around that time period. I get really upset when the house gets boring. So I have literally stopped watching the feeds for several weeks. Even if I'm hosting a podcast, I would stop and I would stop and I would cram and study the day I had to do a podcast, and I would just totally wing it. Honestly, I don't think, when it comes down to it, I don't think I could outright quit and completely remove myself from it, because I know me, and I know it would really bother me seeing everybody else tweeting about it and enjoying it. I wouldn't want to be left out. I'm fine though if it ultimately gets canceled at one point. And I actually really wanted it to be canceled out. I think after season 13, maybe. Those seasons, 12, 13, and 14, those were really rough for me. Really, really rough for me.
Me
but
too.
then season 15 came, and it restored my faith in all that's good in the world. And I sort of I got my joy back. That was the Amanda season. And that was so good. God, that season was the best. That season, it brought my Big Brother mojo back. And last season was fantastic too. So unless they cancel it outright, which I think ultimately I'd be like, okay, I can breathe now. I can have my summers back. But before that, I honestly don't think I could step away willingly.
In my case, this show has kept me going on a couple seasons that I probably would have given up. And the person who shall not be named is one of those seasons that was really hard for me to get through. Yeah. But last year was fun. 15 was fun. I think last year we were all in a pretty good mood through the whole year. I mean, I remember people saying that they could hear it in our voices that we were enjoying ourselves.
It was a drastic difference from the year before.
But I think ultimately there was a year early on where I almost gave up forever and ever and ever. And that was the Maggie year.
6.
Yeah, I hated that season. I hated the Friends thing. I just drove me nuts. But I wasn't as hardcore into it at that point either. So it would have been easy for me to drop it then, but I didn't. I kept going. And I think was it 8 that I started writing for you?
Yes, Big Brother Gossip, that's when I formed it, was 8. You and me.
That's when I started
Evil Dick.
Was 8.
Yeah, Evil Dick. You were, I would call into Ron and Fez for 7. And that's when, and you and I were talking back then, and then for 8 you joined me. I said I wanted to make a snarkier kind of a website. So, yep.
All right, and our final question for this week is from our good friend Pitsy.
Hey, Pitsy, speaking of Ron and Fez.
Yeah, exactly.
We know Pitsy.
He used to be an intern there, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
His question is, do you think team comps will play a hand in crowning HOH/POV for the duration the teams are in place? Well, teams didn't have a hand in POV technically this week. They kind of did, but it wasn't part of the actual competition. So I think up until Sequester, that will be the case. Don't you guys?
Yeah, they do this team, whatever stupid twist they come up with to the start, and which this is the team thing. They carry it on for 3 or 4 weeks. In this case, they don't have to say you're all playing because they all are playing. But at some point, there's going to be a problem where teams, yeah, you're kind of limited on who you can go after because of the way the teams are set up, it seems. We're still not sure of all the rules, by the way. At least I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, even last night, it was pretty unclear for a little bit what was going on with the veto.
Right.
Since one of the nominees won it.
Yeah, and there's a third nominee, which
we'll be getting to that.
we didn't know about any of this on our last one, so we'll talk about that and explain it. So the rules, Pitsy, we're just not 100% sure on how they're all laid out yet.
Yeah, that's
So
why I skipped the question about who we liked originally in the interviews and don't like now, and vice versa.
Oh.
We only have 36 hours of material really to go on.
Yeah,
and so
And the
that's
feeds
that'll
were off.
be a good one for
Yeah.
next week.
Yes.
All right, so let's now talk about the broadcasts a bit. There was a lot going on those 2 days.
Definitely.
In fact, it was kind of confusing because Miss Chenbot didn't do a good job of explaining some things, in my opinion.
I got lost. I couldn't keep track of it all.
Everybody online was getting lost. I mean, we were all tweeting each other like, I think this is what's going on. I think this is supposed to happen. Nobody knew. It was horrible.
Yeah, in fact, when I was writing my recap, I had to go back and listen to her again just to catch what was going on. But she did come out originally and announced that in the 2 episodes we were going to see 4 comps, 3 twists, in 1 eviction.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we did. We did see.
Yeah.
So as usual, we saw the fake footage of them getting their keys. Then they all went in groups of 4.
Yep.
And after they were all in, Julie announced the first twist, which was exactly what we predicted, or what we were told was going to happen. 4 returnees. They were indeed James Devon, or Day, Frank, and Nicole. But before we go on that, there's something I want to say here. There were some really, really bad so-called spoilers that were floating around.
Yeah.
That I could see right away they were not true because they involved people like the chef, Chef Joe, and Howard, people like that. I really wish when people tweeted or Facebooked or blogged dumb things like that, when they're found to be lying, they need to be outed and harassed. We don't like harassing anybody, but those assholes need to be harassed.
Yeah.
Well,
those
like
accounts
that-
tend to disappear.
There's a certain site that I absolutely hate because they make you take a quiz before you can read the article. So I stopped reading him years ago. He was completely wrong, and he's a huge reality site.
Yeah,
He's
he
gonna
said
I'm not saying
confirm.
out and harass him, but don't take those stupid quizzes. That's what I will say.
The quiz went away. Actually, the only reason I read.
know. No, I think it's still there.
Oh, well, then I
Okay,
didn't
let's
get
not
it.
talk about them anymore.
Oh, I have an ad blocker. That's what it was. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so after this happened, the noobs wanted to work by themselves and get the vets out. The vets decided to work together. Paul and, Colette, Hosea, what is the correct? Jose. They were leading the noobs in going after the vets, and I right away knew that wasn't going to last very long, as we found out.
Wait. I have in my notes to say, after you announced the first twist when the returnings came back, I just wanted to say I died a little inside. That's all I wanted to say. I was devastated. Even though we all knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to happen. Because, wait. So, here's the thing. I'm fine with vets returning as long as it's in an all-star season and it's a level playing field.
Yep.
When you mix vets in with newbies, the newbies never get the chance to figure out the game for themselves, and they will inevitably always end up letting the vets influence how they play. I said it last week. If I was in the house and I saw a vet, I'd want them out immediately, which is how Paul and Zakia and Jose, etc., felt at the beginning, right? We saw them all gaining up. I was like, this is amazing. This is going to be so good. Now we've got Zakia playing buddy-buddy with Davon, Paul taking game advice from Frank. It's not fair. It's not organic, and seasons like this always end up being less than the ones where you've got all the newbies.
Yep. Right.
Okay, so
And
I had to get that out about
well,
that.
and the second
I hate
twist,
it. That's why I hate it.
the second twist pretty much, set the stage for them staying around for quite a while. Because the second twist was that they were going to be playing in teams this year, or for a couple weeks. And the person that picked the first choice for each team just happened to be each of the returnees.
Right. So they split the returnees up so that they could spread themselves out.
So, in other words, right away, one returnee has 3 allies.
Yep.
They might as well just call them coaches. And
But no, I mean, this goes back to the question that you did not ask me in the beginning about what I thought about how the team comps will play hand in hand in the crowning the HOH with the POV. My thing was, it's not going to matter because the team, they're literally starting to cannibalize themselves already. You've got people on Jose's team dying to get rid of him. So it's, yeah, I just feel like this team thing, it was horrible and awful in the beginning. I was like, fuck, oh my God, these people are going to be safe. They're going to be here for a while. But now that when we see them play the game, they're totally fine cannibalizing their own team. It is going to be a non-issue. I think this is just going to be another twist that they kind of throw to the side. And when it comes time to compete in teams, they'll compete in teams. But we don't know what is the penalty of being the last person on your team. Do you suffer a punishment for that?
we certainly.
No, nothing happened. So what?
Yeah.
So you got rid of 3 people that you happen to hate that are also on your team. So what?
If
So it
you
means
can
nothing.
get rid of them, though, that's the thing. There's 4 people are completely safe.
No,
for
but
the
if you have an
this week.
alliance with everybody else in the house and everybody else in the house hates the rest of the 3 members on your team, they're going to eat them. And that's what's happening. The teams don't matter.
Yeah.
Ultimately. I'm just finding that they don't matter.
And you're correct, as always, right?
You said it, not me.
That's right. Then, of course, we had to have a segment where all these teams had to figure out names for themselves. I refuse to use any of those names that they came up with. I don't know how you guys feel about
I
that.
literally turned away from my TV and just focused on Twitter. I don't even know what the names are. I don't care.
I typed in all caps on Twitter, so you know how angry I was.
Grr, Mike.
I don't care about the names. They're stupid. I couldn't even tell you what the names are at this point because I don't know.
Yeah.
I was hesitant to remember the names of the alliances that we're going to talk about later. So
Right, and you're the only one of the 3 of us who cares about that.
You're right. Yes.
So right away then, after that, we had our first competition, and it was a team competition, and the first entire team to drop out became a have-not. The second team got a mystery punishment. The third got 10 grand to split, and then the winning team got immunity for the first 2 evictions. And this was
I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that.
Teams make a difference.
Yeah,
They
just
can't
there.
cannibalize
In
each
that case, it did. But my God. Okay.
So this
It's okay.
competition,
A lot went on.
This competition, each team straddled a phallic symbol. And James was in hog heaven because his face was in the cheerleader's ass.
Natalie. Yeah. Yep.
It was weird. And then the thing was that those rockets weren't really moving a lot. They kind of moved only based on their own weight, it seemed to me.
I think the back end had 2 little wires so they could tilt the back end sideways a little bit, but the front end seemed to be stationary. I couldn't figure it out. I wasn't watching this very closely.
Yeah, I wasn't watching. I was a little behind at that point due to typing conversations. I fast forwarded through, and here's basically what happened. Day's team became have-nots. Frank's team got the mystery punishment. Cole's team got the money, and James's team won immunity. I think Colette has something to say here on the have-not portion of this.
Yes. Okay, I want to say something about this have-not room. Okay, as many people know, I herniated a disc in my lower back a few years ago.
Oh.
When I have good days, I'm totally fine. I can dance, I can work out, I can do anything I want. On bad days, I'm miserable, and I need to take it easy, which is a total nightmare for me because I'm not someone who lays around a lot. I like to always have my mind and body occupied. Wait, that sounded really sexual, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I liked it.
My body occupied. Okay. Anyhow, I took one look at those bumper cars that the house guests have to sleep in, and I freaked out. That is so bad for their backs. You can't make people sleep all curled up on an uneven surface like that. Last year's dental chairs were horrible too. I'm not saying CBS has to give them fluffy Savoy beds, but even in jail, the inmates get a flat surface and a cushion of some sort. I think the have-not sleeping situation is cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, I think they need to just get rid of have-nots.
rid
to
of the
begin with.
have-nots.
I mean, they don't even really show it on
they
TV,
won't.
really.
We know CBS, they won't do it. I mean, so it's fine. You know, you want to make the room bright or you want to make it cold or whatever. I mean, but at least before they could like sleep flat like that could do like lifelong harm. Seriously, you know that Seinfeld episode where that guy gives Elaine the mattress for her back because he's got a bad back and now he's all obsessed with back accessories and stuff. The lumbar yard, and he works out in the river because swimming's good for his back. That's how back people get. I get that. I get it now. So I'm very concerned about everybody's backs. You need to keep them healthy because trust me, you don't want to hurt it. Yeah, so I just feel like this is so dangerous. It is so dangerous for these young, because this is when it happens. When you're in your 20s and 30s, you're going to do something stupid that you don't realize is stupid, and it can literally affect you and hurt you for the rest of their life. I just think it's so cruel, and it's so what's the word I'm looking for? Not unnecessary, but some
inhumane.
Yes, that's a good one. Yes.
All right.
Also, the whole have-not thing makes it so that those people, they're whiny all week long. They take a lot of naps during the day.
Yes. That's the whole argument to not do it at all.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's good back in like BB-8 when you had like Jen Johnson like sneaking a bite of the turkey burger. Right, like that
you
was
had
that
Enzo.
was that was interesting.
Enzo sneaking food in the fridge.
Yeah, like that. But they actually they don't do that anymore. They really don't. And it's never an issue. Nobody's ever really gone home for eating like an almond in the toilet. It just it does not. What?
Almond in the toilet?
Scott, just good visual for Scott, I guess.
It just made me laugh. All right. So then we got to the confusing part of the end of this episode and the beginning of the next episode. The final twist was a series of comps, and each one eliminated one of the teams. And then for the final round, which was on Thursday's show, that team had to fight individually. So the first competition involved building a sandcastle balanced by ropes. So you had 3 people balancing this thing, while the fourth person was digging up pieces to build and balance this castle. And then after they placed a piece, they had to change places with someone holding a rope. Right. And that was real exciting to watch.
I couldn't tell you because I really didn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that was interesting about it was right away Devon and Paul were bickering back and forth.
Yes. There's a lot of yelling going on in the diary room.
What happened today from last season to this one? She is such a jerk now. She's such an asshole. Okay, I liked her last season. I really liked her last season.
Well,
I can't stand her now. She thinks she knows everything, and she's acting like she's got some big revenge score to settle.
But,
like she went home second last season. She needs a reality check.
Wait, but are you building this up for the talk after the feeds go live later? Because we haven't seen this. The side that Davon that they showed on Wednesday is not the side that we saw on the feed. You've seen it?
No, we saw her in the interviews. Okay, no, because Scott mentioned she was yelling at Paul. Her whole thing was yelling at Paul, right?
Yes.
Like she's right and Paul's wrong. And so, I think even Wednesday night I was tweeting what an asshole. I was like, why is she such a dickhead now?
I'm just saying.
In all of her interviews, she was like, I'm here to do this, and I'm here to do that, and Paul's stupid. No, she was a jerk from the get-go. From the second they let her out of that box, she was an asshole.
But have you watched the feeds the last 2 days? She hasn't been that way on the feeds.
No, I think she's still an asshole.
All right, so that competition was won by Frank's team, so they are now safe.
Right.
So the second comp was somewhat similar, but this time they had to build a pyramid. You know, there wasn't the holding the ropes thing. This time there was a platform that had to dig up buried pieces. Some of the pieces didn't actually work. It was very Survivor-ish in some ways.
There's been some similarity.
Yeah, but it was also boring to watch. But the funny thing about it, Glenn immediately was pointing out to his team that they had the base wrong, that the base was all messed up, but nobody on his team would listen to him.
Right.
Day and Paul continued to fight. And eventually Day's team won because Glenn was right about the base. They finished it first, but it was wrong.
No. That's not why Day won. That's not why her team won.
Oh.
Okay. she kept focusing on was Paul. Paul wasn't obeying her, right? Paul was screwing up. Paul was the reason they were losing, right? This was Day, the entire fucking competition. Yeah. Well, Paul was the one who kept them from losing because Paul was the one who noticed you had to match the speckled windows with the cream window. When they tried to finish and they they got it wrong. Paul's like, I knew these windows were something. And Day's trying to, no, you gotta listen to me. No, you gotta listen to me. And Paul's like, no, you need to do this. He went in there, literally twisted the entire top of that sand. It was a sandcastle, not a pyramid, I think. Turned it around. Boom, they won. So at the end of the day, they won because of Paul, not because of Day.
What I think is funny about that the whole Day Paul thing was they both were kind of in the wrong for the bickering at each other. But if you were following Twitter, everybody loved Day. Everybody loved Day. Paul was an asshole. Paul was an asshole.
Not me.
Yeah, well, we're kind of different than most people.
Yes.
So that is the advantage that a vet has on viewership, I think.
Right.
All right, so that was the end of Wednesday's show. So on Thursday's broadcast, which Julie was not on at all, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah, not even a voiceover. Or anything.
Yeah. Thursday's show began with Nicole's team whining, which is my worst nightmare of all time. Nicole whining.
Well, we've gotten lots of that so far.
Yes. Tiffany was in tears because it would be embarrassing if she was the first evicted.
And think that, I mean, come on. You're and you know CBS did this. They edited it this way. It's like, what is our biggest complaint about Tiffany coming in as Vanessa's sister? And she even said in interviews, I'm going to try not to be emotional. And what's the first thing they show us?
Yeah.
Tiffany just bawling exactly like Vanessa did.
Yeah, because that was the first look we got of
yes,
Vanessa
that was
last year.
it.
When the feeds came.
When the feeds came live, that's right. She had the waterworks flowing when the feeds went live.
And I forgot to mention now that on this last competition, the loser was immediately evicted.
Oh yeah,
and the three other remaining people would have to choose who would be the HOH. That comes into play because Nicole decided that she wanted to be the HOH, but she didn't want to push for it. So this is the smartest thing this girl's ever done. She went to Dim Bulb Corey to kind of convince him to volunteer her to be HOH.
But let's not give her more credit than she deserves. I mean, Corey is a spineless twit, all right? He has the courage and the mental fortitude of a starfish. Okay, anybody could have done that. So
kind of an insult to starfish, Colin.
Let's not exactly call Nicole a wizard here.
Well, and you know I never would. So then we got that final competition, and this was balancing on a platform, climbing up a so-called tree to get coconuts, putting them in place on the letters SOS.
Yes.
And then pulling a flag in the back corner of it.
This was completely built to kill Glenn's game.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Nicole was the first to win.
Yep.
Tiffany followed. And then we had, surprisingly, a photo finish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Between
that was pretty intense. I was kind of on the edge of my seat because I was like, "Oh shit! I really want to see Corey sleepwalk." At the same time, I don't want Glenn to go because I want to see him leer at the young girls. Like I didn't know who to root for. I didn't at all.
And Glenn, it looked like Glenn was going to win. Because he had all the coconuts in place first, and then because he's big, he
had to move slow.
Yes. Yep. Whereas Corey, who's like 6'5" or whatever, he pretty much just reached his left arm to the tree, reached his right arm to the flag, and Corey won.
Yep.
Which meant that Glenn was evicted.
You know, Glenn, like we said last week, Glenn had 1 million strikes against him before he stepped foot in that house.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. But it's his own fault though, because he was during that sandcastle building thing when he noticed that the base was not matching. That's when he lost right there because he should have. I don't know where the New York City cop went to during that, but he should have stood up. He should have been like, look, no, listen to me. This is what you have to do. He needed to take control. Like Day and Paul were fighting to take control on the other one. Nobody was really taking control on his team. Glenn needed to just step up and be like, dude, follow. And then they would have won and they wouldn't have even been in that position in the first place. But Glenn was just too mean. I mean, I'm dying to know why he's not a New York City cop anymore. Was it because he's not up to that? that, or maybe they thought he couldn't handle it anymore. You know, it's either or. But yeah, he wasn't tough.
Well, and the thing also is, if Glenn had pulled it first, his coconuts were starting to fly around.
Yeah, I
so-
thought Glenn was going to be. They said that he went, but I thought Glenn's coconuts had bounced out.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so then do you want to go more?
Well, just to know, if we're done talking about Glenn, just the one little note on this is that Glenn has not been seen in public since the eviction. The people that did interviews had to email the interviews in. That implies they're keeping him in sequester.
I didn't listen to it.
They
but
did.
I know K-Frog did an interview with him.
They did email interview only, and as a matter of fact, that one of the people from K-Frog said we
How do you
actually
put that on the radio?
What's that?
How do you put an email interview on the radio?
I didn't, and I didn't check to see if they talked about it. But what they did say in Twitter was that they actually had a couple of questions that would have contained outside information rejected by CBS. So they really think, and I agree, and I think it's sure that they're going to have multiple people have a chance to come back this year. That's become the new cool thing.
You really think so? This happens
yes.
every year. This happens every year.
This is
and
number
it's
16.
and it's happened like once where
This
somebody's
is,
got a chance
no.
to come.
Well, they get a chance. No, Nicole came back twice in her season, or once in her season. No, it'll happen.
James
There will
came
be
back.
people.
Remember?
Yeah. No, they'll be. Yeah, James came back.
So a first evictee has come back to play the game.
Oh, usually the
How many
first
times has
evictee
that
doesn't get the
No,
bye.
happened?
I
That's
think.
what I'm saying. I'm talking about. I'm not
this
talking about
year
like
they
Gracie
only-
James in the box.
This year they only have 16. So they've already kicked one out. They're going 99 days on this thing.
No,
They've
they're
gotta
going to
bring
do
one
that
back.
thing that they've been doing for the last few seasons with who's the girl, the butterscotch butt girl.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the girl. She like yelled "fuck you" to Amanda before she let her.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. When they bring them back, then to play to come back, that's what they're
Yes.
going to do.
I
Yeah.
just thought they might do two of those for the butterscotch girl.
That was the best thing she did all season, even though it was against our girl Amanda. Yeah. All right, so then the other three huddle together, and this shows how dumb the other two are, because not only did Nicole get the HOH that she wanted but didn't want to seem too eager to get, but the other two agreed to not ever nominate her.
Yeah, ever. We'll see how that.
Yeah, that would be quickly forgotten.
That was early on.
All right, well then we saw some of the silliest gameplay I've ever seen in my life. This is house footage in the 8 days before the feeds went live, so who knows which day this actually happened. But we first see Victor going upstairs to talk to Nicole in the little hallway there. And he's sitting there just kind of chatting with her. And, of course, he had to take his shirt off to impress her, I guess. And then he basically told Nicole that the noobs are certainly ganging up to target the returnees.
Yeah, I don't get it. It really was just like and sadly, that's probably accurate. You know, you will look at it and go, "Look, oh, it's just editing." No, some of these people in this house are just this stupid.
No, this was really bad. This was really bad. I think it was part showing off. It was part arrogance. It was part trying to impress the vets. I 100% think that moves like this. So Victor and Nicole, and I don't think you've gotten to Jose and Day.
That's next.
Yeah, same thing. I 100% think that moves like this would not have been made had the vets not been in the house in the first place.
Well, no.
Okay.
I think Victor's thought was, there's 8 of us, and there's 12 of us, and there's 4 vets. We got them outnumbered. We got them beat. They've already had this agreement where we're going to get rid of the vets, and so he thought, well, I'm gonna hedge my bets and go try to get in good with Nicole. That would be the reason that he would say that, but it didn't help.
You're giving Victor way too much credit there.
All right.
Okay, well, then and I was just laughing my ass off at this. Jose, right? Is that how you say it?
Jose. Yes, it's Jose. Yeah.
He was sitting outside with Day, and he said that he is the Messiah who is running the house and that they're coming after the vets. He's saying that to a vet. A vet with a loud mouth.
I love him so much. He's so good. Oh my God, he's so good.
You're going to miss him when he's gone, people.
Oh, shut up, you.
No, not you. I'm just saying to the people listening, you're going to miss him when he's gone.
He's so bad that I want him to last forever.
Yes. Yep, we need more Jose.
And
Jose.
then the rest of the episode was gutless Nicole. This is so hard.
I don't want to get blood on my hands.
I'm so annoyed.
Guys.
Oh,
Why doesn't anyone like me?
yeah.
Oh my God, you two sound like cats in heat. Oh my God.
So she decides on one right away. I don't even want to say his name because I'm scared of screwing it up. Jose.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
there you
Jose.
go. You did it.
And,
Yeah.
But, that blood on her hands thing, and she is the only person to be heard saying that so far this week. And she said it a couple times at least.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of the noobs don't know the term.
yeah.
Yeah, because they have never seen the show, literally.
Literally. Even the seasons they were given in sequester they didn't watch.
No.
She doesn't want any proverbial blood on her hands, so she convinces Polly to be a pawn in the first week.
Yeah.
So many things can go wrong. Now, this is going to end up working for her, as you'll see going on, due to other twists and other...
Wait.
Yes.
So Polly is such a pussy, just like his brother.
Just
Just
like
like
his
his brother. Who agrees to go on the block on the second day of the game when these people don't even know each other? That to me was the dumbest move ever. He should have put up much more of a stink about it and offered up another name. He wasn't happy about it. He was like, "Oh God, should I let him do this? What do I do?" Like, and I think there was even like an interview where he was like, "I didn't want to do this. I don't want to do this." But he's such a fucking pussy. The whole Califury family is at this point, from what I've seen.
They like to kiss, though.
They're awful.
They do.
And so he's like, "Oh, okay, fine." And then, like, meanwhile at home, didn't we see, or wasn't there a tweet or it's like some article or something where Cody's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's up on the block." Meanwhile, I'm like, you would have done the exact same thing, pussy boy.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have read something like that. So.
He should have offered up another name. You offer up an alternative. And that's what all these people did, especially last season when people were like literally every week was a pawn just to get out somebody else.
Yeah.
So, last season was an amazing season for something like that. Everybody, you always had an alternate option in the wings in case you were a little too scared to even try it. And Polly didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Well,
and
let's-
for Battle of the Block reasons, that worked to put up an ally as a pawn so that you could, force your win or loss as you want. That's a whole different strategy on stupid Battle of the Block bullshit.
God, I'm so glad that's gone.
Oh God, me too.
Oh yes,
me
yes,
too.
yes,
Me
yes.
too. So the noms are Jose and Polly.
Yep, and no more key box this year. Not that we care, but still no key box.
Yeah, a lot of
It's all
people.
right.
A lot of people do care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the fake swishy sword sound, so I'm all right. But
Well, speaking of fake sounds, in those comps, they really threw a bunch of bad sound effects in, didn't they?
they're really getting cartoony. They really are getting
Same with the diary room crap.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I remember last year the first two episodes when they had James and everybody doing the really cheesy DR stuff, and Judas and what's his name doing their crap. We thought that was too cartoonish.
the air guitar?
Yeah. But we ended up loving the season. So even though that was really bad, yes, we know that the dumb girl with the helium voice is a mathematician. We get it. We got it.
Yep.
And we knew that Glenn has a daughter.
He did, yeah, he still does.
But they will lighten up on it a little bit as time goes on. So, those people that say we're nothing but negative, I just said something hopeful.
People complaining that we're complaining.
They always do.
It's what we do, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously, they're complaining?
Yeah, people always do.
Do I need to call out little fuckers again?
Nope. Just remember we have 100 and some patrons.
And almost 700 people in the room listening at this exact moment. So.
Yeah. All right, so...
We love you guys.
A few hours after that, the feeds went live.
Oh,
And
yes.
all of us were
Finally.
sitting there trying to figure out what was happening, and we quickly found out that even most of the players were trying to figure out what was happening.
Yeah.
They said they'd update me with more information or tell someone else, but they might be on because the show...
Why didn't they tell us?
I mean, they kind of did. They prepped us this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to see our true colors.
Yeah, they want to warn us.
Good discussion going on
That's
here.
why I think that's why she called us in to talk to us all individually, and then sent us on our way. That was like, you're aware.
You think they could on at that moment?
Yeah. I feel like after she finished telling everybody, and then she just kind of Because I think it's good TV. Why
I don't know,
filter
because
right now?
normally when the feeds are on, them cameras are really active, bro. They you'll see them moving around like crazy.
Right. Maybe they're not.
You never know.
What do you
Is
think?
somebody in the DR right now?
Nicole.
And there's always 4 cameras.
Well, I'm just gonna ask. Are we live right now?
Yeah.
That was Dave on.
This was 5 minutes after the feeds were live. They
Yeah.
still didn't know.
Which kudos to CBS for not telling them.
Yeah.
They weren't all. Go ahead. You
And
gonna
I was
say
going to say, actually, right as soon as the feeds turned on, it was Jose, Day, and Zakiya on the living room couches, and Day is literally bad mouthing all the live feeders. And she's going on, and she's like, they attacked me online for leaving my child to come into the house, and who the hell they think they are, and why are they talking about? And she goes, I am so glad I got this all out before the live feeds went on. And
I missed that.
was amazing. We got it all. And then when finally she realizes, and then this conversation we just heard, and people are like, no, I actually think they've been on for a while. And she was pissed. She would not shut every conversation. You could hear her in the back. Why are they on? Are they on? Nobody ever told me they was on. And she was livid. She's like, and what else did she say? She said, oh, yeah, I talked about all that stuff early in the first week because there's so much stuff I'm not going to talk about. Once the feeds went on, I got it all out of my system. I was like, all right.
Well, there was also something funny she said a little bit later where she was complaining that as soon as they figured out the feeds were live, every boy in the house acted completely different than they did before.
They all did. Oh, my God. Jose was the best, though. Oh, my God.
We'll get to that.
He was so good.
All right. Well, here's one of the clips from when they figured it out.
How strong have I? I've been really strong up to this point. Tell my mom that. My feet are.
She's been really strong. She's been holding
She's
it.
been super strong. I don't know if they're on or not.
Yeah, I asked. That's why I'm crying.
Hey, mommy.
They're on.
Oh,
Jasmine, Mom.
That's why I'm like upset.
Anna, Taylor, whole family.
I've been good, right, James?
You have been good. She's been good.
They have been really bad with shout-outs again this year.
Oh, my God. It's all the time. Even today, this afternoon, they were shouting out their Instagrams and their Twitter accounts to some, and James finally shut them up and was like, look, you guys, trust me. Everybody knows all of your social media accounts, and they knew before you set foot in this house. And then I forgot who it was. I think it was Natalie. It turned to James and was like, really? And he's like, yeah, trust me, you don't need to say. And then Frank goes, I'm at Frank Udy on Instagram. Follow me. I'm at Frank Udy. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, you know the drill. We all know where you are. We know where to stalk you, find you, harass you, whatever. Yeah, so James was kind of over it. And then everybody finally calms down, and then James gives out his Twitter handle. James! Dude,
Well,
what
and
are you doing?
my favorite is Paul in the first couple of days. Well, that's all we've had feeds. More than once to said, well, is this on the feeds?
he doesn't know anything.
Seriously, they did not watch the seasons they were given in sequester.
Well, I've got more on Paul later.
In one of the interviews, I don't remember if it was Paul or someone else, says, yeah, I watched about 1.5 seasons. It's like,
yeah, that was Paul. That was
it was
Paul.
Paul. Oh my God.
All right.
Oh, and it shows so bad.
Here, it wasn't too long into the feeds that Dave became the first person to talk to us feedsters.
Even those 4 doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go to me or Jose. It's going to be probably scattered. Like probably 2 will be on me, 2 will be on him.
Yeah.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
As long as the motherfucker got 7 of them.
As long as he out, it's a wrap.
Even if 4 of them go on me or 4 of them go on, it does not matter.
Yeah.
So the only thing we need to worry about is if he wins power, if he don't bust himself out.
Correct.
But the chances of that happening are very
slim. Very slim.
So we're in okay standing right now.
Yeah.
But
we got this.
just keep talking to the
That's
girls,
Victor
keep
talking to her, if I remember
just
right.
like,
Yeah,
yo,
Victor
you know,
trying to
every
figure out
time,
how the
let's
game
go.
works.
Just constant reassurance.
Yeah.
We know.
It's in the head of
Comes down
household
to
room.
it. Boom.
Yeah. All right, baby.
Love you, baby girl.
All right.
You feel
Walking
good?
out of the
Yep.
room.
Her reaction
girl.
rolls.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all see what I'm doing? This is what I've been doing since I walked in this door. These newbies are some of the these newbies here. I wanted to laugh so hard the whole time he was talking to me, but seriously, Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've decided to play the game differently. Clearly, I don't get along with Paul.
Yeah, that was Paul, by the way, not
Because,
Victor.
you know, he's on my team. You know, the newbies have kind of pulled me in. I gotta be nice to them. But, oh my gosh, I'm not being... This is the game I chose to play this time. Paul has done several things where I could have easily cussed him out and probably been kicked out of this house, but I'm trying to do it different, y'all. Like, y'all seen that whole scene? Like, whatever, come to me, give me everything. They so damn stupid. They tell you everything. Jose's whole thing is, oh, I want to be the most blunt player ever in the world.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
See, now you don't usually like them talking to the feeds, but
No,
you've
but
seen
that
it
one I
in-
kind of liked. It was short and
I
funny.
liked her better last year when she didn't talk to the camera.
But by the way, that was Paul, not Victor.
Oh, it was Paul. I couldn't remember. I don't know the voices, but the point was he was talking to the head of household room, walks out, and she just looks at the camera like, these people are so stupid.
We got a couple more clips later on of them saying similar things.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of clips of them saying stupid stuff. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, those that turn on the feeds right away notice one other bit of weirdness.
Yeah.
4 people they appeared nude at first on my computer, but on
Yeah.
my brilliant, beautiful Roku, I could see that they had flesh-colored clothing on, and then they had like pixelated cards covering their naughty bits, and we had no idea what was going on.
Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry about this shit they got me wearing. I mean, stuff.
Yep.
That came from the mystery competition, or not? It's
From the rocket, because they
Yes.
They're
they
the
fell
ones
off
that got
a
the
certain-
mystery
Yeah.
punishment.
mystery bill or
mystery
whatever.
thing. We didn't know what mystery was. Well, it was a punishment.
Yeah, so that was the punishment.
So they're
Frank and
pixelated
his
out.
team had to wear that outfit, and I feel sorry for anyone in the house because of this.
I know that feeling.
Which one?
Eating too many fucking cookies. I had a bunch of those motherfuckers last night. Give me a nice case of the old mud butt today.
You're so gross.
Old mud butt today. I missed the Chappelle show so bad.
Yes, I know it's a Chappelle reference, but it's apt that Frank was the one who
he's
says
so
it
gross. He's
because
so
he farts in every room he goes
He
in.
does.
Okay, wait. So I want to say something about this mystery punishment. I
Yeah.
think this is so unfair. Okay, Michelle is literally walking around wrapped in a blanket because of this outfit that they have to
Yeah.
wear. I wouldn't want to be in a bikini 24 hours a day with hundreds of thousands of people watching me, no matter how banging my body looked. None of them are fat, but I saw Bridget like scrubbing the counter, okay, and things were shaking and jiggling. It was an image I could have totally done without. Okay?
Another Springer.
It's like that
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld episode where Jerry is dating the girl who walks around naked all the time, and at first it's like really hot and sexy, and then he sees her try to open the pickle jar and she's straining and grunting. That's what these pixel outfits are. Okay, even the competition outfits were super tiny this time. I'm all for sex and skin, but I kind of felt like this was a little unfair. Not everyone is comfortable with that much immodesty. And also, this might be TMI, but Bridget has her period. Okay?
Oh.
Which, as much as I hate Bridget, it's really unfair that she has to endure that. The bloat, the discomfort, the having to change her tampons, etc. And it's like a very revealing and cumbersome outfit with the cardboard and stuff. Like, it's just like the whole, like, have not room. It's like, who the hell cares about them? They don't matter. Let's just do all this, make them do all this crazy shit, which, you know, I get it. I get you want ratings or whatever, but everything is, have you noticed? Didn't you notice in all those competitions in the beginning? The girls were wearing like next to nothing.
And your
in
point
every
is?
competition.
Yeah,
Shut up,
what's-
perv.
Do you know that in the competition for the rocket thing, they actually went shirtless for the guys on purpose? They decided that. So come on, the girls get something too.
Yeah, whatever. and
I just think this is really awkward to have to wear this for all these days in a row, And I mean, clearly Michelle is uncomfortable by it. The girl hasn't been out of a blanket for like the first 4
Yeah,
days.
and after the comp on Friday, she wore her comp out costume
Yes,
the rest of the
she
day.
would not take. She had to wear a fire hydrant costume for hosting the POV. She wouldn't take it off because she didn't want to get back in that. The girl's a nutritionist. She's not fat. These people aren't fat. They're on. They have nothing to be embarrassed about. But it just 24 hours a day. It is a little much, just in knowing all these people are watching you. I get it, and the feeds have just started, and you're just getting used to the cameras and stuff. You know, I'm kind of heartless in a lot of things, but this way, I definitely was sympathizing with them, and I just felt it was just a little too much.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to keep wearing these until Tuesday.
Is it
That's
Tuesday at midnight, Monday
Frank
at...
was even like lying in bed, and today he said, "Is this the only way I can get out of this? Is if I go in the pool?" So he spent like the whole day, most of the day in the pool, so he could even get out of his outfit.
Yeah, they have to keep those little. They like Velcro on the bottoms, and they've got straps on
Like
top.
imagine having to go to the bathroom as a girl. It's
I
like
know.
so much harder.
Well, they keep them till Tuesday. That's that. I'm just letting you know. Till Tuesday, they
Yeah.
got to have those on.
That's horrible for them.
Okay, and we also had a hint of a little bit of romance, and there's a little more romance that we didn't know about until today, but this is the first hint that we got.
Bad flirting. I kind of feel bad flirting.
Why?
I shouldn't.
No.
Okay. I don't feel bad anymore.
What do you mean?
I was flirting.
No, flirt
With
away.
him?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been doing that since day one. Now.
Oh, okay.
You wrote about this the other day, didn't you, Colette?
Yeah, no, it's actually one of the first shots when the feeds turned on was Zakiya was literally almost. So we had a shot of Day was out in the living room, and then
Yeah.
we shifted to a bedroom where Frank was in bed. I think it was because of his outfit. He didn't want to be up walking around in this pixel outfit. He's lying in bed, and on a chair in the corner was Polly,
Yep.
and it basically in his lap was Zakiya,
Yep.
and then the camera goes and focuses in on their hands. They're stroking each other's arms. They're stroking each other's hands, skin on skin. And I was like, what? Like, this? Really? I was like, Zakiya, you could do so much better. Don't do this. And then run the other way. Run, Zakiya, run. Yeah, but it was very touchy-feely, very sad. So hearing this clip, which I actually missed this on the feeds today,
Right.
but hearing this now, I'm surprised because they were totally stroking each other 2 days ago.
Actually, Colette, that she said that one of the times he walked out of that room. That clip is from the first night the feeds went. So after they were sitting there, he walked out and she looked at the others in the room. And was like,
Okay,
and it was
then
kind of like,
okay, and then someone said to her, "Oh, you've been doing it all week."
yeah. And so, and then there was another clip where that I saw this morning where she went up to him and he was talking. I don't remember who Paulie was talking to, but she went up and was like hugging on him, trying to say, "Oh, come on, take me upstairs." And so, I don't know if she's playing with him with the flirt thing or if she really is flirting. I think she really
I don't
is.
think she doesn't strike me as somebody who would fake flirt.
No, I don't think she's faking it, and I don't
Yeah.
understand why she said, "I feel bad for flirting with him." It's like,
yeah, no, she
you-
strikes me as pretty genuine and authentic. I really like Zakiya, by the way. I think she's probably my favorite.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like her a lot.
Yep. I like her.
We also had our first controversy of the season, although technically this happened before the feeds went live, right?
Right. Yes.
But they were talking about it when
They
the
talked
feeds.
about it.
Yes.
He's lucky that 4th of July comment wasn't aired.
Yeah.
What 4th of July comment?
Oh yeah, that shit pissed me off.
Yeah,
yeah.
That shit made
That's
me
why I
mad.
changed the subject.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
But we don't know if it wasn't. We don't know.
Cause he was all like,
He was pissing you off.
yeah. Cause I was like, well, a lot of Americans died for our freedom. He was like, ain't nobody told him to do that.
Yeah.
That's why I changed the subject. Yeah, I hope for his sake.
That's what I'm saying. Like I hope they're not on.
I love when you do that. I can't even do it. My lips are too
Yeah,
dry.
that shit got me like right here. I feel it down just talking.
It was in your face.
Yeah, I can see it. Like, I looked over at James. I was like, oh.
Who says that?
Were you
He says a lot of ignorant
Yeah,
things.
6 years.
He says a lot of ignorant things.
Like it was like Harriet
Even with the
Tubman.
Harriet Tubman thing,
Yeah, that pissed me off. That pissed me off.
Yeah, I was just kind of like,
That
all
pissed me
right.
off.
Yeah, but the
But just like, I'm here for the jokes, I'm here for the laughing, but seriously.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July!
Thank you for your service. God. There's been a lot of people ticked off about this. So
Okay. So firstly, there was a whole thing that happened before the feeds turned on.
Right.
But Michelle, that shady, thieving bitch, out of nowhere, like we heard in this clip, says, Jose is so lucky his 4th of July comment wasn't on the live feeds. She knew very well that they were recording this and that the feeds were on. Because this was when this was like after that other clip where they were all wondering if the feeds were on.
Yes.
Then she says this, okay? Yeah. So then naturally, like we heard, everyone then starts talking about this 4th of July comment. Okay, but there's more to this that I was able to figure out. So apparently Jose doesn't think that the 4th of July should be a holiday because we evil Americans stole the land from the Indians. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I know. Firstly, the 4th of July is when the 13 colonies fought for their independence from British rule and created the United States. It had nothing to do with the, quote, Indians. Okay. Secondly, Indians are from India. Okay. Now, also, I guess I shouldn't be surprised about this, even though I'm horrified. I saw on Twitter that some people are complaining about Jose and wanting to call his work so he gets fired.
Yeah, please, let's not do that.
Why would you do this? Jose can think whatever he wants about the military, about holidays, about anything. I don't have to agree with it, and neither do you. But does him thinking that war is silly affect how he performs as a makeup artist? Of course it doesn't. What do you care about what Jose thinks? Does it honestly affect your life in any way? Let's say you had someone close to you who was killed in combat, okay? Does this immature, ignorant twit on Big Brother have any effect whatsoever on your memories, your pride, or your commitment to the military and the country that you love? Of course not. Stop being such weenies and harassing these people and saying stupid things. We all say stupid things. I say 90% of my stupid things on this here show. Nobody is perfect, especially the viewers of this show.
I say my stupid stuff before the show starts.
Okay, when a new season of Big Brother starts, all of a sudden these people have like a shiny new moral high ground where they are flawless saints and nothing controversial can ever be said, ever. It's ridiculous. I was actually stuck because someone tweeted me, I think, and was like, oh my God, they're harassing Jose now and so they want to get him fired. Yeah. And as we'll get, he is so dumb. You guys, he's so stupid. He's so ignorant. He really is. As much as I love him, the guy's a dimwit. He's so stupid. Why would you ever let anything, is he like 23 years old? Why would you ever let somebody as insignificant and dumb as this ever affect your life or ever let you expend such energy? Don't do it. You have better things to do with your time, you guys.
Yeah, leave Mark Jacobs alone. We have some more instances of his ignorance coming up.
He's really ignorant.
Later on the Big Brother Gossip Show.
Enjoy him for the ignorance that he gives us, because if and when he leaves the Big Brother house, he will be missed in a certain way.
Yes, in a certain way.
By
especially
us, at least.
us that love controversy and arguments and all that kind of stuff.
And clips.
And clips. And drama.
Yes.
All right, well then we had one more little surprise. When the feeds came live, we discovered that there was now a third nominee. This third nominee was due to a special mystery competition, which we now know is that new comp that they're going to show on Sundays.
Yeah.
It's going to usually happen on Fridays, but it does, in this case, because of the long week, it happens sometime this week.
Yeah.
Colette, in a little bit, we'll talk about how this all worked. We're just going to talk about what we knew at this point as of Thursday night, Friday morning. We discovered that Paul is now a third nominee.
Right.
And at that point, we thought that the mystery winner... Welcome back, Colette.
What? Oh, what happened? Oh,
We heard you.
You rattled your mic. No, you haven't missed your
cue.
Okay. At this point, we thought that it was Nicole that had won this mystery comp.
Right.
But some people thought that it was Michelle.
You are. Hey, straightforward question. Did you win the competition and put Paul up?
She ain't gonna tell me.
No, just you see how she freaks out.
You can do that, or we keep her in the back pocket as someone will just dispose of.
I mean, yeah, but
because we can't trust her now.
We can't.
Puts up one of our own.
We gotta get rid of both of them.
We were like targeted or whatever.
I honestly feel like ill from the third nominee thing because I was standing up there and like.
You didn't seem nervous though. You kept it together. At least everyone doesn't think you're the person. Because no one thinks you did it. Everyone thinks I did.
Hey, but they're giving you the benefit of winning.
I know. That's why I'm like flattered. Is that a mosquito?
Okay. We really didn't know what was going on. We just did not know. But Colette found an article. Was it yesterday that you found this?
Yeah, I think so. I posted this on my Facebook. People Magazine posted this article, and I'm actually kind of going to read from it now to explain this whole roadkill competition thing because I still kind of don't understand it. I don't want to screw it up.
Is the roadkill going to be the name of the competition itself, or is that just this?
Yes, because that van van is coming every week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
right.
This is according to People Magazine. The Big Brother Roadkill competition will be completed individually by each house guest still in the competition, and quote, the winner will be able to impact the game like never before, end quote, according to CBS. Where have we had heard that before? Like every season. Each week, the competition will take place in the Big Brother RV, which will be moved into the backyard specifically for the competition. The very first Big Brother Roadkill will have the house guests stripping down out of a tracksuit, complete with tube socks, into their bathing suit, while trying to keep the 3 buttons in front of them pushed down at all times. The house guests will start with their right foot and both hands on the buttons, but are able to use any body part to keep the buttons down once the timer starts. If one button is released, the timer will speed up by 30 times until the button is pressed down again. If 2 buttons are released at the same time, the timer will speed up by 60 times. If all 3 buttons are released at once, the timer will speed up by 120 times. Ultimately, the house guest who completes the task with the shortest time on the timer will be declared the winner. They will be informed of their win secretly in the diary room.
Okay.
It sounds to me like the guy from Canada who was brought in to bring new life to the comps. He seems to be doing his job. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I hadn't even. I hate to say that I hadn't seen that or heard that. So, all right. Yeah, mix it up. But the fact that it's never been seen before. This is the MVP, except for instead of us voting, they compete for it.
Yeah, it's similar, but better.
Oh, I'd rather.
And apparently
I'd rather them compete.
Apparently, somebody with People Magazine, one of the reporters, actually did it and had like a really hard time doing it, and had a lot of trouble. He's like, it's a lot harder than it looks. So
yeah,
and they have pictures. There are pictures of the actual house guests. We know now who won and how it went, but there are pictures and you can see, I think there's Nicole in there and there's Paul in there and there's somebody else. I think you can see them trying to undress while they're keeping their elbows and whatnot, pushing these buttons.
All right.
And my understanding that it's not every week going to be for an extra nomination. It might be for prizes and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that part. Interesting.
Yeah. You mean the weeks when production likes who the 2 nominees are and they don't want to mix it up? Oh, conspiracy corner? What am I saying? I don't know.
Conspiracy corner.
We haven't had one yet this year.
Well, it's like this is our first show.
Yeah, that's true.
About the show.
That's true. All right. Well, now we have to turn to Mike for his expertise because we're going to be talking about alliances. We'll start with this confusing clip.
What do you guys think the trio's name is?
Powerpuff Girls.
Oh,
no. Stop.
I think it might be.
Only because I was like, oh yeah, so y'all like the Powerpuff Girls. I'll be Blossom. They were just like, Biggie Bubbles, I'll be Buttercup. And I was like, okay. So I don't get a name.
Oh my God, they are the Powerpuff Girls.
I don't get a name. Yeah.
But they can't be, because...
Copyrighted.
Their personalities fit them, though.
They'll probably change it to, like, Powder
Like,
Puff
to a T. Who do you think the ringleader is?
I know Bronte is Buttercup.
I think Bronte.
Bronte?
Yeah. Natalie.
Natalie's too.
I think it's Bronte.
But that can be your front, though.
I think it's Bronte. Okay, yeah. Bridget.
All All right, Mike, explain that to us.
So apparently, the three girls that were mentioned there, or Natalie, Bronte, Natalie, and Bridget, formed a 3-girl alliance.
Wow, that sounds like the worst idea ever.
They came up with the name Powder Puff Girls, which that was what was being said really fast, so you couldn't understand. It was outed at some point by one of the boys, so it really doesn't exist anymore. But it was kind of the first alliance that we heard anything about. Now, this gives just a second to talk about Bronte, who we haven't talked about at all so far. Bronte is very pro girl, and she has said, "I will vote for a girl no matter what to win. I don't care if I hate the girl. If it's a girl and a guy, I am voting for a girl to win." So, but the problem is some of the guys know this now, I think, and they'll be pushing against her. But so that's the first alliance that we knew about. Do we want to talk about? Is there
just kind of quickly go through the other ones?
So the other alliance that we heard about pretty quickly was what they're calling the 8-pack. And the 8-pack, the easiest way to describe the 8-pack.
Devin, where are you?
So the easiest way to describe the 8-pack is that there's a sub a sub
alliance.
Darn it. Alliance, thank you. Alliance within that, and I don't have these written down, so I'm sure I'll be corrected on here. But the 8-pack is the 4 veterans plus Tiffany, but not Paulie,
because he wasn't there. No, seriously, he would be number 9 if he had been in the room at that time.
Well, he's considered kind of a member, but he's not a member of the 8-pack because there's already 8 people in it.
Right, it'd be the 9-pack.
Yes. And then you throw, I think, who's the 10th person of the 8-pack that's kind of considered?
Zakiya.
Zakiya is a member. No, Zakiya, Davon, because Zakiya and Davon are tight. Tiffany, Corey is in there. James, Frank. I'm looking at the list of people. Nicole, of course, and I may have missed them. But the point is that that's kind of the core group. The people that aren't in it, that it's easier to say who isn't in an 8-person alliance than, and when you throw in is Natalie? No,
I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah, this is where it goes. So you got your 8-pack. Within that, you have what's called the Fatal 5, and the Fatal 5 is the 5 women that are members of the 8-pack. So
worst name ever, by the way.
Yeah,
like I
these are
thought
horrible.
Fatal was like fatale, like a femme fatale.
Yeah,
but I don't know how it turned into Fatal 5, which that's it's got like bad mojo written all over it.
Actually, that actually was discussed, and they came up with the name, I think, during the feeds, but I was just too lazy to go back and get the discussion. So it was, I think it's Michelle, Davon, Zakiya, Nicole, and one more. I can't even tell you. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
We'll know more. I'm terrible about the alliances this week or this time. I apologize.
By the way,
yes,
the Zakiya Day friendship.
Yeah,
there was something funny yesterday that, Mike, you're not going to understand, but some of our listeners will, and Colette will too.
Because this must be a Real Housewives.
Yes, this is a Real Housewives reference.
I'm like, why wouldn't I understand?
There was a point, I think it was yesterday in the early afternoon, where Day was kind of getting ready. She hadn't done her hair yet. She had just gotten out of the shower, I think, and Zakiya was looking as perfect as ever. And I looked at her and I go, Nene Leakes and Cynthia.
I saw that picture. I mean, I get the reference, but I kind of get it. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll give it to you.
Okay. All right.
I'll give it to you. I get it.
Thank you.
But I want to give Zakiya more credit than that.
So, on the Fatal 5, let's just say this: it's think about it this way: you've got an 8-person alliance, granted, with even 2 more thrown in, but you have of the 8, the 5 women, in theory, are going to work together. I don't think it'll happen. I think it'll blow up eventually. But it is interesting that these 5 women kind of working together. It has a chance to last a little ways, at least. So
possibly.
For those that are screaming to have a female winner, they haven't had one for several years. There's a possibility here.
For a women's alliance, I feel like this is the best chance we've seen so far of a women's alliance actually last, have some longevity. We'll see.
Other than Nicole, I haven't picked up a cattiness level from these girls. Michelle,
Natalie and Bronte, like you said about Bronte, she's super girly. We know Natalie's super pro girl, and Day and Zakiya are very supportive of each other, and they're it's not that they're pro girl, it's that they're anti boy. So it's a different mentality, but still, it's going to end up with a girl in charge. So I feel like this is ladies who are fans of watching other ladies succeed. I feel like this is maybe our best chance. Maybe. We'll see.
And we all know how well those first week alliances usually work out.
Yeah.
To prove that first night of feeds, there was a lot going on, we also almost immediately were told that there was going to be a 2 a.m. secret meeting.
So, did you get invited to the meeting?
What meeting?
So, tonight.
Oh, you didn't?
I guess it's you, Michelle, Nicole, and Corey, who didn't get invited, but the whole rest of the house is supposed to, and Polly. But the rest of the house is supposed to be having the meeting tonight at 2 o'clock in the morning to solidify the game plans for the rest of the game.
What, Joe say now?
Mm-hmm. Don't want to go write down the minutes.
So that's an 11-person meeting.
Called
by
Jose.
Yeah,
to
called by
happen at 2
Jose.
a.m. Yeah, to happen at 2 a.m. So this was our first night on the feeds.
Yep.
Everybody was very excited for 2 a.m.
I was like, I'm staying. That's 5 a.m. for me. I'm
play this next clip. I got something to say.
Yeah, because we had our first tiers of the feeds too.
Hey. You're fine.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Honestly, nothing's wrong. I'm fine.
We're gonna get through this.
I think I'm just tired and stuff, and I'm honestly not too much information, but probably gonna start my menstrual cycle. And I cry during that no matter what. I'm it needs to be coming anytime now. I don't even know the date today. Oh yeah, it's late. I feel like
and there's just
from stress.
Yeah, and there's just a lot going on. There's just a lot.
And we've been locked up in this thing house all day. We couldn't go outside.
Yeah, and get fresh air or nothing. Don't worry.
And there's that meeting at 2 a.m.
Oh yeah, we don't have the invite.
You don't either? I don't. I thought me and Michelle were the only two.
Michelle said I'm gonna have my own damn meeting.
No.
I think you're definitely invited.
I didn't get invited.
Yeah, she didn't say his name, but
she didn't.
It's gonna be in this room. No, what Dave was telling me about the meeting.
Oh. No, I'm gonna be hiding.
He's gonna hide in there.
And all the meetings in here, I'm just gonna nonchalantly just pop open the box and just kind of slowly look around and walk out.
I said, I hope it zooms in on his face. He's gonna be like.
So I can't believe he's calling a meeting and only really 4 people are not invited.
Who's the other one?
Corey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Corey, you, me, right? And Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
I thought it was just me and Michelle not invited.
That's like the whole damn house but us 4.
Yeah. I'm like, what's gonna happen when somebody wants to walk to the door and they're gonna be like, oh, what y'all talking about? We gonna say, oh, no, we're having a meeting.
And people wonder why we have problems with Nicole's voice.
Nothing.
So she's such a weepy crybaby, this bitch. Oh my God. Okay, so this blew me away. While she was crying, we didn't catch this in the clip, but she actually said regarding Jose, what did I ever do to him?
I know, yes, she did.
Bitch, you put him up for eviction. You did the worst thing one person can do to another person in the Big Brother house. Is she for real? You did it. Now stand by it. Jose has every right to be mad at you, just like you would be mad at someone else who put you up on the block. It blew me away that she said, what did I ever do to him? Oh my God. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It made me laugh too. But the funny thing is, after all those tears, after all the controversy,
this was the best.
The meeting wasn't held because Jose got tired.
Yeah, he got tired and went to bed. We were hopeful though because as James said, he figured out how to hide under the seats in that safari room. He hid under him. He was going to do it. He was going to hide under the seats in the safari room. And oh God, we were all fired up. I stayed up till freaking 6 a.m. waiting for the damn meeting.
And he's like, nah, You my beauty sleep tonight.
Jose went to bed. It was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Yeah.
So
wasted-
funny.
It was,
All right, so that was really it for Thursday night. They actually went to bed, for the most part, a little earlier than we usually see.
I think so far they've been going to bed pretty early, right?
Yeah, I like
We're
that.
only like 2 days into this, so
so
this is
far.
good.
Yeah. So now we're going to pick up on Friday. The day pretty much started with the POV players named. I don't really remember who they were. Mike, you're the one that knows this kind of stuff.
You guys write this
Paul
down.
and Corey got to play. Well, everybody's. So you get your 4 You've got Nicole, and you've got your 3 nominees, and then Corey and
No, we
Davon
had
also got to play.
2 nominees because we haven't had a third yet.
No, Pauly had been,
no, we had the third.
Pauly had been nominated. That was before the feed started. We knew Pauly was the 3rd nominee.
No, so
No,
you have Nicole.
Paul. Paul was the third.
Paul, I'm sorry.
Jose. Let's spell this out for our listeners, you guys.
All right.
Nicole, Paul, Jose, Pauly.
Yes.
Yes, and Paul was the mystery 3rd nominee that we found out about.
Yes.
Who we
From
didn't
the
know
Roadkill.
who did it.
Yes.
Right, from the Roadkill, but we didn't know. Someone won the Roadkill and nominated Paul. We thought the night before on Thursday night as the feeds were going, we thought, well, it was Nicole or Michelle maybe, and then we're going to talk about in a minute that we figured out that it wasn't either of those two. So you had Paul getting to play in the POV since he's nominated currently, and then there was 2 names drawn randomly or however the hell they do it now. I can't remember. And those 2 names were Corey and Davon. They got to play in the POV as well.
And the boys, the 2 boys, were mad because they didn't get to pull the chips out themselves.
Okay.
Davon was actually pissed that her name was picked. I remember that.
Right. Yes, she pretended to be excited, and then when she was finally alone with people she
didn't wanna play
trusted,
it
she
all.
said,
Yeah.
"I don't want to play this. I don't want to have to I don't have to step up and make a decision. I want to float around for a little bit."
Funny stuff. This is kind of a crazy clip too. After the veto players had been picked,
right?
Apparently, according to Day in this clip, Jose told Paul that if he won, he wanted him to save him.
Right.
Paul's going to be out there competing for
his life.
And here's the thing: is Paul is actually somewhat athletic.
Yeah,
he is.
What I wanted to tell you.
He's in beast
We were
mode.
sitting-
Like when he was getting beast mode, he's like wilding out. Like
Yeah.
We were sitting in the room, the safari room, and basically Paul was like, Jose was like, well, you know what you got to do. You win veto, you pull me off, and you trust that we got you.
No, I'll fucking talk to Paul about that.
No.
You need to tell them how many times people go home when they do that.
No, I'm just going to tell Paul straight up, Paul, you're going home if you use it on Jose.
that's narcissism at its finest.
He sure did.
Trust
Did he
me.
really?
Sure did.
So now he does want to be pulled down.
Of course he does. He's
Yeah, he does now.
Jose didn't want to.
I know.
I think Vic is the one that talked some sense into him.
Yeah, trust me. I'll talk to Paul. I'll be like, Paul, dude, you'll go home.
Like, yeah, don't be
100%.
stupid. Please don't be stupid.
You mean he wants to come down?
What I ever do to him?
Oh,
You know,
the silly girl.
I don't know who else's voice we can do.
Well,
We started the show
I've had people say we should do a contest on the mathematician.
Bronte.
Oh, Bronte?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I haven't heard her talk much.
I can't do it, but I mean, I've heard actually Zakiya and Tiffany. The first night when the feeds went on, they did some really, really great Bronte impressions.
They
But I
did.
haven't seen that. I thought they were gonna I thought this was gonna be a thing, and they would do it more often. I haven't heard it since. It was very brief that first night, but yeah, I haven't heard it since. But it was pretty good. It was pretty good that they did it.
Okay, but before we get to the veto, there's a couple clips that don't really matter for gameplay. They're just kind of funny. One is a little... Well, we'll get to them. First off, we have Jose's thoughts on a certain person who shall not be named's famous sister.
I want to meet Ariana one day.
Ariana? I met her once.
Met her once?
Mm-hmm.
In person?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I was on her practice set with Chris Brown and her for her single.
Yeah.
She little.
That's
thing.
what I'm thinking. Like
this.
Tiny. Yeah.
And she has a little squeaky voice.
Well, that girl can sing though, bro.
Mm-hmm. Flat butt, no tits, but for me, it's like They make her look at it like she's like this pedophile's dream or something. It's just so disgusting.
What do you mean?
She's just like a little girl, and they have her on these little sexy outfits, and it's like that's like a pedophile's dream. That's disgusting. If you look at her, she looks like she's 12. Let's be honest.
Well, that's
her little
because
high ponytail, her little, and then like they give her a crop top with no boobs, and she has no butt. She has the body of a 12-year-old.
James is going, are you calling me a pedophile?
But think about this, folks. Hey, folks. Those of you that don't have the feeds or anything, here's your first. Here's Jose, or here's Jose for you. He just keeps giving and giving. Anybody who ever had watched any of the last 2 years of Big Brother should know that you don't mess with the grande. What are you doing? I said last. I'm talking about Ariana.
Okay.
I'm not talking about that other. I'm
No,
just
but wait,
saying.
I have something to say here. So, okay, Jose. Oh, shush.
Jose.
So, this comment bothered me, and probably not in the way you guys would expect. So, which is it, Jose? Does she appeal to pedophiles because they dress her up like a little girl? Or is it because her body did not develop to your liking? He is a special one, this Jose. You know he heard... Okay, you even heard him in this conversation. You know that he heard someone else say that stupid theory about the she's a pedophile's dream, and now he's adopted it as his own.
Oh,
now, the problem with this guy is he absolutely has no idea what he's talking about.
No, he never does.
anything.
Definitely.
I think he does this with a lot of things. World issues, for example, which we might touch on later.
Right.
Jose will catch a tidbit of an idea or a theory, something very partial and incomplete, and then he'll workshop it later at a party in an effort to impress some people and try to come off as smart. That's what he does. He hears someone else say this stuff.
He really does.
And he doesn't get it in its entirety, but he runs with it. And if you just listen to the way he was saying that, he's a pedophile's dream, pedophile's dream. He heard that phrase. He heard it. He didn't know what it meant. And then James is like, what are you talking about? So then he had to kind of stop and think about, oh, flat butt, no tits, pedophile's dream, pedophile. Yeah, he steals this shit from other people. He steals everything from other people.
Yes, and in about an hour, we'll probably have another example of that.
Not that long.
Yeah, well, never know. Okay, well, Jose is involved in this next little mini controversy.
My best friend from high school, him and his wife, they did their bachelor
Together,
party
joint.
together in
I think
Dallas.
joint is fun.
And it was gay. For the bachelor, like all the groomsmen and stuff.
It was what?
Not in a bad
But
way.
if you're like getting married,
It was what?
shouldn't your
Gay's not a bad thing. You know that.
But it was gay as what? As they were happy or they were all gay?
They were happy, but it was just like, I don't know.
It was
all right, thank you for making me feel awkward
Shots
now.
fired.
I know.
What? I wanted to clarify it up. What was it? The party was gay? Or what was
It's just a figure of speech, dude.
I rarely hear somebody use figure of speech as the party was gay.
I'm getting out of this conversation.
I gotta use the bathroom. James, I called bathroom. I really do have to go.
I'm just playing.
Oh boy, here we go.
Both of these guys are young and stupid, unintelligent and ignorant. You know, I was ridiculous in my early 20s. That's what these two are. The problem is that no good sense to self-edit themselves.
You're cutting out again.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it.
We're going to wait for a second.
Okay.
And you're going to come back in and sound.
Yeah, Mike, you say something.
All right, I'll say something. So while Colette gathers her internet, so what we don't this is a quote that happened, or this clip happened later. Earlier on, a clip that we never played, which is fine, was another thing that set people off, where Corey talked about working at a bar next to a gay bar and stuff, and all of his comments there. Corey's an interesting character. He seems to make you wonder what he's what goes on in his mind, and I think we're going to hit on this a lot. How about you try now, Colette?
Can you hear me now?
Little bit.
Yeah, try it again.
Can you hear me now?
You sound like you're on a phone call instead of on this, but give it a
Okay,
shot.
well, I didn't change anything. I mean, it's okay. You guys can keep going on.
No, you're good. Start talking.
No,
We can hear you.
I don't have any. I've lost my train of thought. It's okay. You guys can move on.
Okay, we'll move on, and hopefully it'll be fixed in just a second. So the veto was played, And it was won by Paul. Mike, do you have any info on what this veto was?
I have absolutely zero info on what this competition was. I just know Paul won it.
Okay. And he was one of those that likes to wear his veto win all day long.
Apparently, after he won it, he got in, I think, Nicole's face or something, or got it. He was quite cocky about having won it.
We got that clip. We got that clip.
Because I want to freaking rip what's his name's face off after the competition. She's like, "What's up, bitch? What's up, bitches?" I was like, "You say one more freaking word, I'm about to drop your bitch ass."
I know, man.
You don't talk like that in front of like Nicole. Nicole's sitting there like,
"What the fuck?"
Like, act like you've won before.
Yeah, I don't think he has. Don't let it get to you, bro.
That shit pisses me off.
I know.
All the soap is popping off. I know I can't do anything right here, but as soon as we step out of this fucking house, we're gonna have a fucking problem.
We're gonna have beef, son.
You don't talk that way to the ladies.
No. Cody's going to come to your defense.
Corey, you mean?
Yeah, Corey. Yeah,
Same
sorry,
thing.
this-
Colette,
What?
are you there?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of. Do you have anything to say here?
No, not really.
Okay, you're sounding a lot better, by the way.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we did
I
finally.
love it that I sound better now that I have nothing to say. Thanks. Yeah, don't think I didn't catch that.
Oh, God.
Pow!
Uh-huh.
Well, we did learn one thing from this comp, besides the fact that Paul won. We
Right.
had confirmation of who actually won Roadkill.
That's gonna be hilarious.
Okay. So I'm just, if, you know, I win, I'm keeping everything the same.
Yeah. Obviously,
I hope so.
you and Nicole win the best case scenario because it makes sense for y'all to keep it the same.
Right.
Day, obviously, if you win, you got to, show your cards a little bit, but it also makes sense because you're putting one of your other teammates in danger.
Yeah.
But I mean, you obviously still need to go for it, right? Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Wait, what are you gonna do if you win?
If I win, I'm keeping them the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say my reason is if I take somebody down, Zakiya automatically goes up.
And if you really felt like we needed to use it on Paul, and they don't know who the hell I put up in his place. They don't know I'm putting up Bridget. Just worst case scenario, if you really feel like you want to use it.
Yeah, I'm not though.
Yeah.
So this clip is actually before the competition.
Right.
But this is when we had it verified that Frank won and secretly put up Paul.
Yeah.
So
So
as far as the mystery nom, but Paul won the POV, which then raised the question online: who gets to make the new nomination, and how would they keep that secret?
And we're assuming that this is going to work like the MVP worked in season 13, right? 15.
Whatever.
Yeah, 15, where mostly Alyssa got to, was the MVP. So in theory, assuming that Paul uses, assuming that Jose doesn't manage to talk Paul out of using the POV or whatever, or I guess even if he does, Frank will get to choose secretly who gets put up in Paul's place.
Yes, and we got a little hint who it might be, and at first I was a bit surprised, but then I figured out why.
Obviously, because me putting Bridget up, well, if and nobody decoy too. Yeah, because nobody's really thinking it's me anyway. But now when I put Bridget up, they're really not going to think it because she's on my team.
So, I was going, why Bridget? I mean, because she's a worthless house guest, but she's also harmless. I mean, I'd like to see her go as soon as possible. But why her? And once you figure it out, he doesn't have a lot of options because the one team can't be nominated.
Right.
The team that won.
Who's on that team? Can you reiterate?
I don't have it in front of me.
I gotta look here. Who's the head? It was which team won?
So it'd be
Nicole's team won.
No.
So
No. It was.
Oh.
No, because Glenn got evicted from Nicole's team.
Right.
James' team won. So James, Victor, Bronte, and Natalie. They are safe from this.
So that's why Victor's been acting the way he is, I think, maybe.
And thank you to John, aka Useless Traffic, for his ticker that helped me look that up.
Okay.
He doesn't. We don't have team names on our site, but he did color coding.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of these people in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I keep calling Natalie, right? I just call her the cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think she doesn't look like. I keep thinking Victoria, Veronica, all those V words. So for Natalie. So yeah.
Okay.
And Bridget doesn't remind me of a Bridget. So it's hard to keep track of all these people.
Okay. Well, speaking of dummies, we have Day once again laughing at the crew that they're stuck with.
I don't know how we got so lucky,
Man,
to be in this house with this particular group of people.
I know, right?
Man.
They're a hot mess, that's for sure.
Now, Day's not exactly a brain surgeon herself.
No, but
compared to this lot, she is.
I think the lucky part is that she was even asked back.
Well,
She
yeah.
went home second. Why is she here? I don't understand. Nobody
We
else
were
is like,
fired up about, but remember, Davon got screwed out of her season. Audrey, she made
no,
a mistake, and
'cause
Audrey.
she was a bad player.
She was a bad player. I mean, Day is one of those people, and she's showing it this season.
She's
If
not
she-
going to last long this season.
Yeah, if she sees...
Oh, she will.
Very hard. And
Davon's going to be around a long time this season.
I don't think she's.
If she
no.
sees...
I think she'll make it to jury. I think she'll definitely make it to jury, no problem.
Yes.
But
Day is one of those that if she sees two people talking that are on, quote,
Mhm.
other teams, she flies, she jumps to conclusions and flies off
she
the handle.
came into this house beyond paranoid.
Yes.
And beyond being like a total jerk and just judging everybody and hating everybody. I mean, yeah. So that's only going to get worse as the game gets further, as the numbers dwindle, as every win becomes even more important. We're going to see her get just nuts.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Which in turn will have more people turning on her.
Yes.
Which will be fun to watch.
Which will be fun to watch.
There you go.
Day going
Let's find a
crazy
positive in this.
Day going crazy is always fun to watch.
Day blowing up when she blew up, even though it was early on, that was a fun night to watch.
Yes. I'm going to skip one thing I wrote down because we have some meetings. I mean, Jose again wanted to have some meetings, and he actually stayed awake for the first one. Well, actually, there were two technically on Friday night, and this is really the line of the first one.
Every season, people get so scared. They get so scared of a union this, alliance this. Look, we own the fucking house. Why should we be scared to even announce it? We own the house. Bitch, fuck with it, you get out. That is it. Point blank, period. The best game ever,
likes
we
that
own
line.
the house. What? Oh, what?
Point blank, period. He has the numbers.
I like when he was like, and what? He's quoting the theme song, or like there's like this song that they play on RuPaul's Drag Race. If you watch this show, when RuPaul comes out before the judging, before the runway, he walks down the runway, and then at the end he stops and he poses and he goes, and what? That's what that was. That's what Jose was doing. What? And what? That's what he was doing. Like I said, he steals all of his lines from everybody else.
That's funny.
And I need him to stay because I want to find where he's stealing these lines from because I feel like I could find it. It's like a treasure hunt.
We need Jose to
challenge. I want that challenge for the season.
Somehow, please, we want
You
Jose
know,
to
I
stay.
really want him to stay.
We really do. Everybody wants him gone, but we want him to stay.
We want him to stay. We love the drama.
Yeah.
That's why we watch drama.
So maybe Paul will save Jose. No?
Oh, God.
All right. I can hope.
And the Big Brother gods helped us out last night because they provided some beer and wine, which some idiots, a.k.a. Victor and others, immediately started shotgunning their beers, which made me giggle. I haven't shotgunned a beer since I was in high school.
Well, these guys aren't much for mentally. They aren't removed from it mentally. That's where they're at. So
yeah, and that led to a game of Spin the Bottle, which included some ear licking.
Oh, this is so gross. Wait, I'm going to take off my headphones. Okay, go ahead.
Some feet licking, and the grossest thing of the night, Not Gay Corey let Victor spit wine in his mouth.
Not Gay Corey.
This is called a birdie shot. Gross.
Yeah.
This was gross. I didn't get any audio from it because it was just a bunch of screaming and
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
Is it
Yes.
safe to- Okay.
We're
It
done.
wasn't- it
Kind
wasn't.
of. Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay.
One other thing happened during that. Apparently, Jose asked Nicole if she found Corey cute, and this is what Nicole had to say an hour later.
Okay, so let's be honest here. I think Corey's super cute.
Obviously, Nicole. But what happened?
Wait,
He's very handsome.
Yeah, he's handsome. And so Jose said something about.
Jeez.
Are you? I said something about him, and then he goes. And I said, wait. And I don't remember what I said.
It was 5 minutes ago, Nicole.
I know. And all I said is, wait, you two or something? And he goes, yeah, you jealous? And I was like, maybe, as in kidding. That's all I said. I was like, maybe. And then he turned beet red. And then I just came upstairs.
First of all, Jose is at 900 level drunk. So ignore it.
I literally had one glass of wine. Like,
girl, you a lightweight.
I know.
And I am too. That's why I
But
gave my
what's funny
glass
is,
away.
like, it's not even a big deal. Like, I hope I don't wake up
the thing is,
having it being awkward, but I feel like he can just, like, sense that I think he's handsome. Like, what's the big deal about thinking someone's handsome? Like,
nothing.
I feel like everyone thinks he's handsome. Like, that's just, like, normal.
There ain't nothing wrong with you thinking he handsome. And that you like him.
No, I don't like him.
You want to kiss.
No, I really don't.
You want
No.
to hug him.
No, I don't. I swear I don't. I'm done with Big Brother boys.
Child, that's a Big Brother man, okay? Let me let you know. That's a man, honey. That is a man.
Oh God.
Okay. Oh my God. Wait. So I actually just listened to half of that clip. I totally missed the miscongeniality part. I know you guys don't get it, especially for Scott probably doesn't understand. But when she said, you want to kiss him, you want to hug, that's a Sandra Bullock quote from Miscongeniality, you guys. So
Okay.
yeah, that was fun. So wait. Okay. So Nicole is attracted to Corey. Good for her. Unfortunately, Corey is attracted to Victor. But good for her. Good for you, Nicole. You go.
Do you want to expound on that a little bit now?
No, I'm done.
All right.
It's so annoying. Oh, she drives me nuts.
Oh, guys.
Okay, and as they said, Hosea was drunk. Jose was drunk. as I'm starting to be too.
I'm out of beers.
And Jose is the worst whisperer of the season. And at about 2 a.m, he had about an hour and a half whisper meeting with Paul and Paulie. Why he keeps including Paulie in these conversations, I don't get, because Paulie's the other nominee. But somewhere in this big meeting, he said that he is always 10 steps ahead of Nicole. Now, that's not hard to do, but in his case, it's not true. He's not ahead of anybody. Anything?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were like ready to drop a clip on. I was like, I mean, if you want to just get a general talk about the newbies, how we've kind of skimmed over it, but most of these newbies, Davon is right. These people have no idea how to play this game. If they weren't in there with a few vets, it would be a train wreck of awesomeness.
Yes, exactly. The vets are ruining it. They're ruining it. They are ruining it because this is, and it's even further pointing out how awful they are, and they're not going to learn. They are not going to learn, because how are you going to take lessons from somebody? Because Frank actually had a big long talk with Paul in the bathroom. He gave Paul like a huge, because Paul was seriously and he wasn't joking about this. I heard it, and it was a clip that did not play. Paul was legitimately thinking after he won POV, he was literally going to take Jose down. He did not understand why that would be a bad idea.
He's also considering not using it at all.
Yes, he did say that.
Yeah, no idea. Wait a minute. I wrote something about this, and I didn't talk about it because we didn't get to it. But wait, okay. So this, I need to do this. out of all these newbies who are bad players, for the most part, Paul is the worst. He's the worst. Okay, the absolute worst. I love him. I want him to stay. He creates drama and he's interesting, even if sometimes he's annoying. But he, for real, has no idea what this game is about. There was one point, okay, like I said, there was one point where, he actually thought that he could go on the block, even if he won POV.
Yeah.
And then taken down, he thought he could go back up.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't watch shit before he got into this house. He says he watched 1.5 seasons. I think in Sequester, he put the DVD in and then promptly fell asleep. He woke up 4 hours later and said, okay, let's do another season. And then did the same thing again. He is gloriously clueless. So Frank, yesterday, I think it was, gave him a pretty sobering lesson about how to play Big Brother. And you could just tell in Paul's face, it literally, there's just like a veil glazed over his eyes, and his eyes were just like, oh shit, I've been doing this all wrong. And watching that, I was a little upset that he had that awareness, because now he kind of knows how shitty he's been playing, and it's going to show. It will, because I think that talk that he had with Frank, because Frank's like, look, dude, you can't say this stuff. You can't do this stuff. If you save Josiah, then what about these other people? What about Nicole and the people that support her? If you go after Nicole, then she's going to go after you, and then her supporters. And he was kind of explaining how alliances work and repercussions and revenge.
Yeah, he didn't
and Paul's
understand.
just sitting there in this dog costume from the POV competition, and Frank in his loincloth with the stupid pixels. They're sitting there literally looking into each other's eyes, and Paul's just like, oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, he has no idea. He thought there'd be another have-not comp.
I really do have to. Yeah, he has no idea. Nothing. He knows nothing about this. He thought he'd come in, he'd be happy-go-lucky, he'd joke around you, and we saw that, right? Didn't we see that the first 2 nights? Him in the comms, whoa, I'm gonna do whatever, and hey, I'm Crazy Paul. Look at me.
Fight with the vets.
He doesn't even know what's on the feeds and what's not on the feeds.
No,
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. He knows nothing.
It'd be even more amazing if there weren't vets in the game.
Yes, so if there were no vets, and this just continued, with Jose being arrogant and ridiculous, right? And then you got Paul thinking this is all fun and games, and then you have Bronte and Natalie wanting to be girly girls. Oh my god, that would have been so much fun. That would have been so fun.
Yep.
But now we've got the vets literally there. You know what? Because there was debate. Do we call them vets? Do we call them returners? Who is it that was calling
returnees?
Returners or returnees, like Bronte, I think. I'm going to call them the Buzz Killers. That's the
right.
name, the Buzz Killers.
Yes, I like it. I like it a
agree.
lot.
The Buzz Killers. That's
right.
the Buzz Killer Alliance. We'll just make that up.
And now we move to today, which started with a very scary hour. Frank was the first one up. He was the only one up. And he went outside and had a chat with his feedsters and talked about how his balls were shrinking.
Oh, no, I
and how he
you
had
take our headphones off again.
No, I
you wanna
actually have
talk?
something to say.
All right.
My God.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I woke up, I did what I needed to do, whatever. I'm starting my day, and it's 1:00 my time and all this stuff. So I just sat down on my sofa. I made myself a beautiful little salad, little avocado, little chickpea, little feta cheese. I've got it in my hands. Fired up the Roku. I am ready to settle in for some hardcore feed watching. And then I find Frank alone in the backyard, and he's talking to the cameras. And he is talking about how he has worn the same underwear for 2 days in a row.
Yes.
And how he could get a staph infection in his nether regions, and how his testicles have gone up inside of his body. I think he also wanted to take a shit or jack off at the same time. He wanted to get up and go to the bathroom, but he didn't want to do it because everybody on the feeds was watching him and nobody else was awake. So I couldn't figure out if this was a morning shit or jack off, because he was very embarrassed about having to do this. And I'm sitting here looking at the screen, looking at my formerly beautiful salad in my hands, And I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch Frank. I couldn't eat my lunch. I turned the feeds off. I put my bowl on like the furthest corner of my coffee table, and I watched an episode of All in the Family, which is like my little secret thing. I actually record old reruns of
Oh
All
my
in the
God!
Family. And I watch when there's nothing on. Yeah.
So, folks,
and I waited a half an hour before I could finally eat, and then I put it on Twitter. I go, look, just tell me when everybody else wakes up because I can't do this. I can't.
So, folks,
And
if you
this
want,
went on for like an hour.
if you want to lose weight, get that hour of live feeds from this morning, and anytime you're hungry, just play it.
Play it.
You'll lose weight quicker than if you were on a cleanse like Glenn and I did.
He reeks of BO. He farts every time he walks into a room. This guy's disgusting. I don't know why he's wearing the same underwear for 2 days in a row because he won't do like he's like, oh, I gotta wash my sheets today. I'm just thinking, oh God, those sheets must reek. Oh God, those sheets must be disgusting.
Remember, he was known for stinking his first season.
Yes. Oh, this made me laugh so hard. I think this happened yesterday. He walked into a room and his hair was still kind of wet. He had literally just walked out of the shower. And then I think it was Zakiya goes, oh, yeah, you smell like you just took a shower. I was like, I told you. Everybody knows he stinks. Everybody knows.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
It's just, yeah.
And
you
for
smell
the first time ever,
yeah,
I mean ever, this won't happen again this season, Paulie actually saved the day. Because he was the second one up, and he went and sat outside with Frank, which, stopped that whole business.
Yeah.
And this is Paulie telling Frank what Jose... I know I'm saying it wrong again.
No, you got it right.
This is what Jose said drunkenly in their little meeting.
I was cross-examining fucking Paul and Jose all last night.
Oh, yeah? How'd that go?
I honestly think that they have no idea.
They have absolutely no idea.
Because he was saying, he was like, I brought Frank and Devon into the alliance. He's like, and that's why I went after him. But then I'm like sitting there and I was like, they talk about game with you and all that stuff. And he's like, I mean, no. But, I mean, Devon does. And I'm like, all right.
Oh, they absolutely think I'm voting you out.
Huh?
They absolutely think I'll vote you out. They're idiots.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, they're sitting there, and I just checked them. I was like, so you're telling me? I was like, you're gonna look me in the face? I was like, you're gonna say that you are not going around saying to put the vote towards me? I was like, and he's like, I put out scenarios, and I was like, were one of those scenarios you getting voted out? I was like, because I'm pretty sure you didn't put that scenario out there. I was like, you're just going around saying to vote me out.
Yeah.
And he's like, I put out all scenarios. Like, if it was a tie, like, I don't want it to be a tie because then I'm going to get voted out. And I was like, he's like, I needed to bring the team together because they were all getting paranoid and stuff because now one of them might.
Wow, that was a weird fade out.
Yeah.
The funny thing is I saw a good portion of that middle of the night talk. I didn't hear Paulie bringing up those points. And maybe he did and I missed them. But I think he's embellishing the story a little bit.
You think? Yeah, no, you're there.
I missed it. I don't know.
They were drunk, or Joe. I wouldn't be surprised if Jose saying anything at this point. The parts not in this conversation that I would add to was that at one point I know Frank and Paulie were kind of getting a bonding a little bit here, and I think I remember Frank saying something to the effect of, we can kind of be like I was with Boogie in my season, and then Paulie was kind of like, well, you could be kind of like my Derek to Cody, Cody.
God.
So that was, but it was like, all right, these two may be starting to kind of bond and work together. I'm not going like, oh my gosh, this will be great, or they're going to be great together, but it was an interesting of a potential aligning between the two of them.
This is how dumb Paulie is, though. After pretty much everybody in that house figured out that Tiffany is Vanessa's sister, Tiffany had to sit Paulie down and tell him that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Okay, well, today was the first day that we saw them actually get to hang out outside. A bunch of them laid out in the sun. Some of them swam. I know Mike wants to talk about the brand new backyard pool.
Nope. All I want to say is it's a lot bigger than it was. It's a much bigger pool. So it's kind of. That's it. I don't know what you want me to say.
He added that to the
They moved the hot tub into the pool, so actually it's really not that much bigger of a pool. It's kind of the same because the hot tub's now in it as opposed to separate.
Fine.
That's funny. You added that point to our outline for one sentence.
I'm looking at our timeline, like our outline growing and growing and growing.
Nice
and I'm like, what are you adding, Mike? That's what Mike wanted to add. The pool's bigger, you guys.
There are people out there that appreciated me adding.
Yes, we know there are.
Okay.
We know there are.
And some of them are Patreon.
And they are so much better for knowing that. Sleep better tonight, you guys. That's amazing.
Alrighty then. Day has had an ongoing...
And this is going to be a really interesting point here.
But I found it funny.
All right, there you go.
Day has had an ongoing issue.
I'm literally full of shit right now.
Yeah.
Huh?
You feel all right, though?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yes, in 10 days, Day has not had a bowel movement.
I can't understand these women who like to talk about their poop, quite frankly.
Yeah, you sure don't.
That's a joke.
So, this afternoon, our girl Day came out into the backyard. She had a big announcement for everybody.
I finally went to the bathroom, guys.
Oh, you did? Did you take any fiber? Did you take any fiber?
Hey.
Oh, yeah, word, dude.
Yay, congrats.
Soften your stool.
It's been a long time. Praise God. It's been a long time.
Praise God.
I needs to. Oh, that was the other. That was Joe Cox.
Now that's a clip you'll never see on the broadcast.
No, that's true.
That's why I played it, because it's funny. All right, well, back to gameplay stuff. Jose was funny throughout the day. I mean, he truly is convinced that he's got the numbers. He's just so clueless as to what is going on around him. And so, yeah, listen to this.
150%.
Oh, James, definitely.
That fool's not stupid. And you see how he inches himself into every fucking...
I mean, you don't count for no fucking reason. And he goes, whenever he walked in, oh, you guys having a meeting? Yeah, bitch. Yes. Come on. Yes.
You want to be part of the meeting? Because we won't say sensitive stuff when you're around. Obviously, we were having the deep conversation before he came in, and then he came in and it kind of switched to like, oh, we have the numbers.
Mm-hmm. And then and I'm glad he heard that part about the numbers, because like, bitch, we run the house. So anything you do, Mr. James, not going to make no difference. You could put him up, you could put me up, girl. Because your ass will soon be on that block, Miss Thing.
What had happened is the night before when Jose had his first meeting, at some point James interrupted it. Because remember, James is not invited.
They all walked in.
Yeah, they all walked in. But yeah, James knows that Jose's got the numbers.
Oh, God, Jose. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And then he had a similar conversation with Day. It was very, very whispery. But I'm going to play this tiny little clip.
I think about everything. See, that's good, because people don't think like that. They don't. People don't think like that. They don't.
He thinks about everything.
Nobody else does. He thinks about everything.
Yeah. And I think in the longer version of that clip, I had Day saying, Boo, you do what you want.
Yeah.
You do your thing.
I think at one point he actually said that he thinks that he's 10 steps ahead of Nicole.
Yes, he has said that a couple times.
Yeah, that's how far ahead he thinks in the game.
I'm going to pull this one ahead because it's just so funny. No, it is actually the next clip.
She's number 2. Number 3 will probably be James. Me. Tone's number 1. Oh, yeah. And then from there we decide Tiffany or... And we narrow down. But definitely Nicole's number 2. I'm going to try to get you Tracy next week.
Yeah. I feel like at that point,
just like us on the thing. I'm just go ahead and toss it. Yeah, I'm just gonna toss it. Because I know you said you wanted to do it by your hand.
I want to be the one.
Exactly.
For my own purposes.
Yeah.
Just because.
That's spiteful. I just want you to know.
It's good for America. It's good for America. I mean, it's only the perfect revenge. She put me up. She put me up. What do you want to get your revenge?
I mean, do your thing.
America.
I think getting Nicole out of the house is great for America.
Oh, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
100%. It's not going to happen.
God bless America.
Hey, on the technical side of things, for people listening, I know I have my earbuds in right now as we're doing this. Or those of you that are going like, I can't hear anything. This is what we have to do with the feed sometimes. Get your earphones out. Put earbuds in.
And apparently with the Roku 3, though, if you have the headphones, you can hear this.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, with you
really the only.
I will tweet a review as soon as I get it. It hasn't arrived yet, but when I get it, I will say whether or not I think it works well with whispering. But apparently, it's awesome with the whispering.
Yes.
So
What he was basically telling Day, and Day was doing a great job at just sitting there and encouraging him. He says he wants Nicole out next, and he wants to be the person to get Nicole out, and then he wants James after that, and then Tiffany, and then on and on and on. So that's his game plan.
And it would be good for America to get Nicole out because it would be his perfect revenge. And he plans on winning HOH next week, by the way, so he can get Nicole out.
Yes.
And that America's going to be really happy because, he'll get his revenge.
Well, I hope he has a
Game of
chance to win
Thrones.
it.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I hope he has a chance to win it.
Yeah, I do too. Shortly after that, Day had a conversation. I think it was with Tiffany. We'll see.
He said I'm 10 steps ahead of everybody.
Yeah, he said that to me before.
He's like, I got Frank.
Dang, how do you hold it in?
He's like, I got Frank and
Dang, you're doing good this year.
I know.
Biting your tongue like crazy.
Like crazy. Because I would have cussed him out 10 times by now. So I feel like when I've reached my limit of the BS, I kind of just be like, all right, well, I'm about to go do this. I'm about to go do that. And I just walk away.
Yeah, it was Tiffany and Polly that she was talking to. She's holding it in. Normally, she would have been busted out yelling 10 times.
I agree.
Least. Yeah.
She's holding it in.
But,
I know we talked at the beginning of the show, but I think Dave Vaughn's doing a pretty good job. You just leave it at that.
That's all I have to say.
The longer she stays around, the more epic her meltdown and blow up is going to be.
Yeah,
the longer she holds it in, the more
But
the
she
explosion.
has that awareness now, though. She has that. I've been in there before. I know what they're going to do to me. And what's the first thing she said when the feeds went on was how live feeders attacked her as a mother, attacked her livelihood, threatened her, all this stuff. And so I feel like she's so aware. She is so aware. And she got all that stuff out of her system before the feeds went on. She's not going to do anything anymore now.
Wait,
We'll see. We'll see. I hope she breaks down. Trust me. I hope we get to see it all.
I thought people liked her online after she got out. She was tweeting right away.
I don't know.
No, apparently there's a whole faction that attacked her because she was a mother and that she left her child and went into the house. No, that was her big thing. That's the first thing she was about when the feeds went on.
Stupid cat ladies.
Yeah, no matter who you are, someone's going to hate you and someone's going to love you.
As we know.
Why do you have to tell them you hate them? That's what I don't understand. Just, talk behind their back. Like I always say, like Jesus intended. Do it behind their back.
All right, well, we have one more example of Jose not having a clue as to what's going on around him. He actually has a conversation with James about the numbers, the voting numbers.
Pretty sure you got the votes, man. No matter what happens, though. You had a pretty good squad in there the other day.
He actually looked pretty.
He had said right before that in a very whispery thing that no hard feelings. I know I know you got to vote for your person. Blah blah blah. But yeah, he's clueless.
He's just so wonderfully clueless. That could be the last Jose clip we play.
No.
Oh, wait,
don't.
But I'm just saying.
No,
you're right.
The very next clip is him.
We have another clip. But I'm just saying, people, Josiah could be. We're gonna miss him if he's gone.
Yeah, we are. We are so against the grain.
No, we're not.
I love
we
it.
are. If we could talk to everybody who wants Jose out and tell them our story and why we want him to stay around, I think a lot of them would say, "You know what? You're right. I want Jose to stay in the house."
No, because you're assuming that they're sane.
That's a valid point.
I just don't think they are. I think people are on different wavelengths. Really,
All
do.
right.
And that we are on a.
Well,
unique
again,
we're
it's
all by our lonesome.
No,
We
we've
are all
got
alone on this
we've
ship.
got several hundred people that are on the same island with us.
Really? You mean they're not cursing us out right now?
No, I think some
they
of
all
them are.
love it.
That's
They-
a change. All right.
Well,
Someone just said save Josiah. Save Josiah is a
Jose.
Yeah, going back to what we said last week, love the game, not the player. And those people that are against us on this person, they tend to be Nicole fans. Which, goes back to the insanity plea. All right, we're getting close to wrapping this up. Last week, we kind of went on and on a little bit about, we don't want to bring politics.
Yeah.
We don't want to bring politics onto our show.
Yeah, here we go.
But we actually have to, because we got our first live feed fight of the year, and it was about politics. It doesn't really matter whose side has what. It's the fact that all these people babbling were idiots. Go ahead.
Play it. No, you
Okay.
gotta play first because I've got a thing.
Okay.
Here.
Why
To be
do
quite
I
frank-
have to pay taxes if it's
Because
a
the
free,
motherfucking
free
government is
country?
fucked up.
It's not a free country. If you
Everyone has to pay taxes and every.
I get it, but why build a wall? And on top of that,
because people come over here, all
Let them.
these drug lords come over here, all sorts
Drug
of mess.
lords?
all sorts of crazy shit. Yes.
Now you sound just like him. They bring rapists.
It's common-
They bring drug lords. They bring. No,
I mean, it's common sense. But if you come over here and there's a background check and you're not they can tell if you're a normal person or not, and then
Listen.
they make you pay taxes. Then you ain't gonna be in all that stuff.
This
It
is
makes
not
sense.
Berlin. There's no Berlin Wall. There's no situation like that going on. There's not the China Great Wall. There's no separation of anything going on. The minute you create a separation is the minute you make everybody start hitting each other.
Berlin Wall and the Great Wall have nothing to do with the wall that they're talking about around Mexico, bruh.
It shouldn't happen.
The Great Wall was kept to keep invading Mongolians out.
But it
what
shouldn't-
you saying makes
completely
no
different.
fucking sense.
It
Completely
shouldn't
different.
But it shouldn't happen though.
Read a fucking book, bro.
Oh, this is what happens when you put a house of 23-year-olds in together.
Okay, so I was watching this live, and I'll be honest. Okay, so I saw it. I tweeted about it. I was thoroughly entertained by it. But I did debate over whether or not we're going to include it on the show tonight after what I said last week. And trust me, I thought about this, and I even called Scott on the phone.
Yeah,
I
we
said,
talked about it.
does this make me a hypocrite that I feel like we need to talk about this? Because I don't want to come across that way. But when I explained my side to Scott and the point that I wanted to make, he said, I don't think you will. I think we should talk about it. And I said, it is the first fight that we've ever had in the house. Actually, it was Scott that brought it up. He's like, it sounds like this is the first fight. And I was like, actually, yeah, it was the first fight in the house. So here's what I have to say. This was amazing. It was if you saw it live, it was really, really good because
hilarious.
So it was
about
Corey. It was
about
Corey
3
and
o'clock.
Jose.
It was about 3
It was
o'clock
Corey
today,
and
for those
Jose
people
in the
that wanted
back
to watch
room.
it.
Corey and Jose are fighting, and that voice that you heard out of nowhere, like, dude, the Berlin Wall, the China Wall, nothing to do with that. That was Frank. Frank,
the voice of reason.
So I am setting the scene right now. Okay. So this was amazing. Now, not because of politics, because it completely proved my point from last week. Firstly, listening to a bunch of uneducated twits discuss politics was pretty amusing, and even I can admit that. Nobody won the fight because they're all ignorant. If anything, it actually ruffled Jose, who had been acting somewhat normal for most of the day while he was campaigning. I mean, delusional as he was, he was keeping himself in check. But this whole conversation completely turned his world upside down. And he reiterated to everyone exactly why they want to vote him out. He's a loose cannon who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Okay? But here's the point I want to make. So last week, I got all fired up because I didn't want to talk politics on the show. And I
Yes.
thought it was unfair.
You interrupted me even.
Okay,
This
and you're
isn't the
interrupting.
same,
You
though.
are
This is
interrupting
different.
me right now.
Well, we're going to interrupt you more.
No. Let Colette go.
We'll take the
Okay.
floor.
I didn't want to talk about politics on the show, and I thought it was unfair and completely irrelevant to the game that people were judging Glenn on some of his political tweets. So here we are today, discovering that Corey is a Trump supporter, which I don't think is necessarily a surprise to anyone. But we also found out that Frank, beloved Frank Udy, is also a conservative.
Yes.
So my question is to all of you people.
And a couple girls, too.
Will you shut up?
Okay.
My question is to all of you people who prejudged Glenn last week, before the show even started, based on some silly tweets. Do you now hate Frank, too? By your logic, you have to. You're a hypocrite if you don't. You hated and attacked Glenn for a reason, for one reason. So logic dictates that you should hate and attack Frank for that very same reason. Now, do you see how stupid judging someone for their political beliefs is? Furthermore, and this is where things very quickly turned ugly online. Today, a Big Brother account tweeted what Corey said about President Obama, and it wasn't nice. People then replied to the tweet saying, "Kill Corey. Die." Big Brother fans are now calling for Corey's death because he expressed his opinion in this house. Can't we just watch them be dumb and uninformed and laugh at them? Why does it always have to go to an ugly, violent place? What's wrong with you people? This is why we can't have nice things. There are much more important things to put your effort into. Sending hateful, violent attacks in a tweet is not one of them. Okay, there you go. That's what I have.
Yay, bravo, 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 yay.
Good
Well
job.
said.
Yes. Perfectly said. Thank you, Colette.
You're welcome, Scott.
Thank you, Colette.
All right, one last tidbit from the feeds. Oh, besides the fact Jose thinks that he is going to become a star, that he's going to be in movies, and he also at one point said instead of like the likes of Kathy Griffin, who he likes, he wants the special guest that comes in the house to be like Leo, or what was the other name?
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
To the Big Brother house.
Yes.
Ah. Okay, that's going to happen.
Yeah. But the other tidbit, this is something that happened before the feeds went live that I didn't know about. Right. Apparently, Victor and Natalie had a little thing together. They even had a date night and cuddled. But then afterwards, he blew her off and said he didn't want a showmance.
He ended it?
Yes.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
I just naturally assumed that she would have been the one. Oh. He really is a heartbreaker, isn't he?
Yeah, I guess. The Latin lover. Yeah.
Hit it and quit it, but he didn't even hit it. Yeah.
Natalie, I heard a couple of, they were discussing this incident, and I think it was James, or I'm not positive, but someone saying that Natalie and Pauly kind of have similar games, and that they're both the flirts in the house. So Natalie is kind of flirting with all the guys.
Natalie strikes me as a tease.
Natalie
I'm
even
getting that impression from her.
Natalie even
big
hit
time.
on, well, other than was it Natalie that can't be in bed alone or with a guy?
No, Bridget. That's
Well, that's
Bridget.
Bridget.
She has
All
a
right.
boyfriend.
Natalie, I watched Natalie kind of tease Tiffany about, kind of hooking up, kind of a joking thing. I mean, Tiffany took it as, yeah, you're just kind of hitting on everybody. Kind of, that's your game. Much like, again, like Pauly's game is very similar to Cody's game. So
I was actually really wrong, and I'm totally fine admitting it. I was very wrong about Natalie. I thought she was like very phony about the being super girly and loving girls and all that stuff.
Yeah.
She actually is like that. She actually really is raw girl. Anytime a girl
Yeah.
walks in her room, ooh, girl, look at you. You are the hottest girl on Big Brother today. She says stuff like that all day
Yeah,
long.
Natalie
and
is-
after this political fight. Oh, so I didn't mention it. During this political fight, actually, once it started, Paul was there, and he got up and goes, "I'm leaving." And he walked away. He literally walked away. And then after it ended, Jose had to talk with Natalie, and he realized, it kind of dawned on him how he exploded and got out of control for a second. And so he was like, oh God, I shouldn't have done that. Because he's literally spent all day trying to campaign to stay in the house. Because I think he was up, if I recall correctly, he was up at I don't know, really, really early before anybody else broke up, and it was still still dark outside. Yeah, Jose.
Yeah,
and it
Jose
was still
was up
dark
early.
outside.
Yep.
He was sitting mulling to himself, just thinking. And I think that's when he thought, oh shit, I might be in trouble. I think I have to campaign today, which what led to today. Then he has this big fight. So afterwards he talks to Natalie, and then Paul finally, once the political, fires had gone away, he comes out and he talks to Natalie, and Natalie's like, you know what? I respect everybody for their opinion. It's not for me to say for anybody how to think, which, hey, I'm all for that because that's how I feel. And she was like, but then she goes, I just want everybody to love each other.
Yes.
and then Paul goes, yeah, okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's what I want. I want everybody to love, as he's getting up and walking away. Yeah, good call, Natalie. I want everybody to love each other too. And then he walks away from her. So Natalie actually is that goody girl. She is. So
she is.
On one hand, I'm kind of not surprised that Victor was like, later, bitch. I'm going to find someone, a little bit cooler than you. Because, Victor's, at least he tries to be a little edgy. I think he thinks he's very edgy, and he thinks he's the Latin lover. But, I was very wrong about Natalie.
Yeah. One more thing about this failed relationship. Today, Victor was doing a little cleaning, I believe, in the kitchen. And Natalie told him that he looked hot when he cleans, which is kind of an interesting comment. And he had no response. He completely blew her off, and that made her sad.
She tells everybody they're hot. Everybody.
She's playing the flirt game.
Yeah, she is. She's just going to compliment everybody to death.
Yeah.
So they feel like, oh, I'm not going to get rid of her
But
because
she
makes
is
me feel good about myself.
But she's not what I expected based on her interview. So.
Yeah, no, me either.
Yeah,
Me
same
either.
here.
It's
Same
not
here.
a bad thing. She's just one. I mean, we can't talk about all the house guests, but a lot of them are not coming across as they came across in the interviews, which is what we said before the interviews. Everyone was like, "Who's your favorite after the interviews?" It's like, it doesn't matter. This is not how they're going to be when they're in the house, and they've definitely all shown to be different.
They're even different than they were in the diary room in the first couple episodes.
Yeah. What you've seen on TV, they've been edited to look a certain way. They're not that way either.
All right, well, that pretty much catches us up, except for whatever happened while we were doing this extravaganza.
Yeah.
But we got a couple questions before we end it. The other day, I made a little joke about this is the best they can do for returnees.
Right.
And after I tweeted it, I asked how many people turned it down before they settled on these four.
Yes, you did.
And Amanda replied, nobody.
None.
Nobody.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, really? They went to these people?
I mean, you have to, on the one hand, how many people is she honestly in contact with? She's not in contact with I love Amanda to death, but she can't be in contact with everybody.
Yeah,
that's true.
She might not really know the real deal. Every house guest I've ever talked to, and I've talked to a lot of them, especially when they're casting new house guests, they talk like nobody's business. None of them ever get 100% correct. So,
But you don't think that if you're looking at the list of recent house guests and you look at the cast of Big Brother 15, you don't go, hey, maybe you ought to check out with Amanda.
I think Colette said a few days ago the reason it was these four. Do you remember us talking about
Second
that?
chance kind of thing?
No. The appeal of these particular four.
yeah, I do. I think they were very, very popular.
Yeah.
They were. All of them were. Like I said, I
You're
loved
right.
Davon in her first season. Everybody was and Mike was trying to correct me, but we liked her last season. We were sad. Yeah, I was very sad to see her go last season. I think these were kind of fan favorites.
Flyover fan favorites.
Yeah, because they weren't standouts, but yet they were hunky dory, good time, folksy. Okay, they're good people. They didn't really fuck up majorly, and they seem like good average Joes. And during that political fight today, when it got heated and when they would even start to talk about immigrants,
Right.
Feeds went to Fish immediately.
Yeah.
Feeds would go to Fish, and then it'd come up in another
So-
part of the house,
so-
and then they would start talking about, and then it would go to Fish again. So even whoever's running the camera for CBS or for the live feeds, they're getting scared of controversy. And if you don't want controversy, who do you bring into the house? Frank and Nicole and James.
But we talked about the 4th of July thing, and we didn't play the clip. But there was another clip where they brought up the 4th of July thing again with Jose yesterday, and as soon as they even started talking about that, they cut to the feeds.
Yeah,
or to the Fish. It was like,
you know,
now
they
they want
wondering
to bury
if
this
is gonna be
stuff.
shown on the CBS show. I guarantee that his 4th of July comment will not be shown.
Oh
because
no, that's
I'm
not being shown.
I am getting the image that they don't want any of this controversy. Because apparently there's like a new president of CBS. I remember reading.
Well, Moonves is still the president, but they're
No,
above that.
No, there's an article about like someone new is in charge, and
Yes,
they were
who picked the
talking to
competition.
Rodner and Meehan, and no, there's somebody in charge of CBS,
Right.
not the Les Moonves, yes, somebody
right, right.
else.
Yeah.
And
I can't think
they
of it
were
either,
like,
but
oh,
they
are
said-
you? Yeah, are you careful about what you're doing now? Are you? And because they haven't been renewed yet for another season. Because last season or 2 seasons ago they were renewed for 2 more years. This season they're not renewed yet.
Yep.
So maybe that's why they're being careful with this
Could be.
controversy stuff. We don't know yet. We'll see.
Hopefully, it doesn't mean a lot more censoring on the feeds. That would be a
I
nightmare.
mean, I get if they're going to censor it on the network show, but it does bother me if they censor the feeds.
Yeah.
And there was a little censoring going on today.
Is there any vets that are playing a good game? I guess I would probably have to say James is probably doing the best of the bunch.
That's funny. I've said that I think that Frank is actually playing. I think Frank has an advantage in that. Guess what? Half the house guests don't realize he even played the game.
Yeah.
So I think he's
Frank
had a
is
little bit
super
more
cocky,
time.
though. Frank is
He is.
really, and that's the one complaint. Like, I just don't like Frank. I've never liked him. I hated him on his first season. I hate him on this season. But the one thing that I've seen people saying on Twitter is that they think that he's really, really arrogant this time around, which is kind of how I feel about Davon. But James, I'm not a fan of James.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I think he's boring. I don't like the whole pranks and all that stuff. That really,
God.
and let's remember, last season he slept 75% of the season. To me, that's unforgivable. That's why I don't like James.
And
he's a perfectly nice person, I'm sure. He seems very pleasant, but I like excitement. I like drama, and he didn't give me that last season. That's why I don't like him. This season, it seems like everybody's kind of going to him, confiding in him a little bit. He seems to be getting along with everybody. I feel like Nicole and Frank and Day might be higher on the list than James. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong.
I'm just thinking Frank because he was a competition beast in his season. He kind of got shut down a little
But
bit.
you know what? These guys didn't watch the past seasons.
No, but he was. My point is, he's a competition. They don't know that.
But he's
then
got a
on
dad
top of
body
that,
now.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of years removed from the show, 3 years removed from the show to grow up a little bit.
But he said today.
He definitely seems to be more mature. I will give him that.
He said today he's got a dad body now.
No,
He
he
did make a
doesn't.
comment about that.
I mean,
That's what he said,
doesn't have
though.
like a ripped hot guy bod, but he doesn't have a dad.
No, but he made a comment about the viewers having to see a dad body. So.
He has a really stinky, gross, farty, disgusting staph infection, testicle, gross.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
All
don't
right,
take your-
last question. Any thoughts on the siblings? I have to say that I don't mind so far. Because remember, Vanessa took a little bit before the crazy came out. I don't have a problem with Tiffany so far. My problem with both the siblings is they might as well just be vets because that's who they've connected with the most. But Tiffany, I don't mind. So far.
Cody has not, or no, Cody. There you go.
Same thing.
Paulie has not, as we said, he's on the outside of that 8-pack. Although we did have that conversation with Frank today, but I've just been Tiffany to me, and this is what I tweeted a couple of times that somebody argued with me on and on. But I said Tiffany has a better social game than Vanessa, and someone's like, no, she's just like Vanessa. Like, no, Tiffany actually seems to be able to relate a little bit more, whereas I felt like Vanessa had a little bit. Well, Vanessa's older, and Vanessa was like, I'm the older sister talking to you rather than I'm your friend. And to me, the conversations I've seen with Tiffany, she's been able to engage the people that she's talked to
But
more.
a lot of the young guys hate Victor and Jose. hate Tiffany.
Yeah, they
I
do.
can't
Yeah.
figure out why, and I'm trying to
Well.
figure out where it came from. They despise her.
Well, I know one reason.
I'm
Like,
not
they
too
really
worried about
want
what.
her out.
I know
I'm
one
not too
reason.
worried about what Tiffany or I'm not too worried about what
No,
Jose.
I know, but I'm
Jose
just telling
and
you
Victor
that
think.
they really don't like her, and to me, I've found both of them boring. Polly and
Yeah.
Tiffany, for me, have done nothing. The newbies have been more exciting than both of them. Actually, both of them, they've even been more boring than the vets.
Oh, I don't agree. I don't disagree with you that they've been boring, but I'm just saying she hasn't.
Oh, and
I don't mind her.
And one more thing, I do want to say, I was completely wrong in my assessment of Tiffany, where like she didn't get where I did this whole psychological thing about her where she didn't understand jokes and all this stuff, and now she seems to be kind of normal. Maybe it was interviewed first day jitters.
Yeah.
I don't know, but she was wacky and not right on
But she
that day
does-
that we did those interviews. But in the house so far, she's boring as fuck. But she hasn't been weird or on the quote spectrum or anything like that. She actually hasn't.
But for gameplay, she's not doing a bad job. She's boring, yes, but boring. She could be boring for the first few weeks if it gets her along. We may not like her because she's boring, but I'm just saying she's not She's not riding her sister's coattails. She actually only 7. She held up her fingers. Only 7 people. Okay, there you go. Only 7 people in the house know that she's Vanessa's sister.
That's according to her count.
Tells you
what
how
she thinks.
That's
Well-
according to her count. But
Yeah.
can
Well-
I add
I
something,
think
please?
everybody knows.
Finally,
Yeah.
can I add something?
Yeah.
I've been trying to get in for a little bit here, and it's no big deal. I know why the Jose thing in her isn't working. She was when she was counting those 7. She was also talking about who she's friends with, who she wants to be friends with, who she needs to work on, all that stuff. And she said she doesn't need to befriend Jose because Jose will be gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jose heard that, or
No, this is when she was sitting by herself.
Oh, okay.
When she counted that 7.
But, Jose, it's funny because after that political fight today, all he was talking about to Natalie, he was calling Tiffany a verm. It's funny because I thought he was referring to Michelle because it turns out Michelle's also conservative and chimed in on this whole thing, this whole confrontation today. And so he was like, oh, she's a vermin. She's a skeeve. And I was like, wait, who's he talking about? And I sent out a tweet. I was like, wait, is he talking about Michelle? Like, I thought he was still bitching about the whole politics stuff.
Right.
And then everyone tweeting back, they're like, no, he's talking about Tiffany. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, Tiffany wasn't even there. What? Okay, so yeah, he thinks Tiffany is a vermin and a skeeve. I don't think I know what a skeeve is, but that's what he kept calling her a skeeve.
It's not good.
And then when Natalie wanted to know what a vermin was, he said, vermin, skeeve. So vermin means skeeve, and skeeve means he doesn't know what vermin means.
He doesn't
But
know
he's-
much of
yeah,
anything.
but he's using it to describe Tiffany, so he really hates her.
All right. Anything else anybody wants to get in before we call it quits?
Nope.
No, we could talk a lot more, but you know what? We got a whole other week to get through. But who's going home?
Jose.
Who's going out? That's the sad thing.
Yeah. It's going to be him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping Bridget goes up and there's like an uprising and they realize how horrible she is, and then Bridget goes home.
A lot of people don't like Bridget though, because
Yeah.
they think
Bridget
she's
is
a spy.
And remember when we said the first week how she doesn't like bullies? What has she done all week? She's complaining that everybody's bullying her. And she's kind of playing that victim thing. She's like, they're not nice to me. They're bullying me. They think I'm doing this and that.
And she squeals.
And so people are getting annoyed with that. And even her alliance with Bronte and Natalie, they're kind of done with her. And they were the 3, Powderpuff Girls or whatever. Bronte and Natalie are like, if I got to vote her out, I got to vote her out, whatever. So I'm hoping. We've got a few days. This is the good thing about week 1 is we've got a lot of days to get to that first eviction. A lot of days for things to change.
Hopefully, on the next bonus show that you guys do, we'll be able to say, "Oh my God, things flipped."
Yeah,
Brittany's going home.
That's right.
I don't think so. I think Jose's going, and we'll weigh in on that and say that hopefully Glenn and Jose and someone else will have a chance to come back, even though you don't think it'll happen. I think Jose's gone. CBS would be smart to keep him around as long as they can edit out the really controversial stuff, and he's going to bring the drama.
But Bridget, the vets don't like her because they think she takes what they say to them, and they don't like her because they think she takes what they say to the vets.
Yeah, so the whole house thinks she's a double agent, which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens this week.
All right. Fingers crossed.
All right.
Okay.
We done then?
Yes.
I think so.
All
We're
right.
going to do any plugs
See you
this time around?
Well, BigBrotherGossip.com, Big
Yeah.
Brother Gossip on Twitter with no E and Colette?
ColetteLala.com, on Twitter at ColetteLala, Instagram ColetteLala. If you want to follow me on Instagram, please just let me know on Twitter because I don't accept anybody that I can't find on Twitter or Facebook. Okay, that's all.
Mike?
BBGOSSIP on Twitter and Periscope when I do it. Please leave us some reviews on iTunes. Those of you that are listening on iTunes, we
Especially
need some,
good ones.
Yeah, good ones would be nice, but we'll take the bad ones too if you want to complain.
You mean I'll take the bad one?
All
I
right, so
always
yeah,
do the bad
most of the
ones.
bad
It's
reviews are about something about Colette.
It's okay.
But leave us those, and those of you that have subscribed to us through Patreon, thank you very much. We appreciate it. As those of you that are listening to this second show, you're not missing anything. You're just going to get more extra good stuff for the Patreon subscribers. So
Patreon.com/BigBrotherGossip.
Yes,
And
please
with that,
subscribe.
We are done.
Why? I'm a dirty little boy.
Stinky?
Girl, no, but I need a hot shower. Can I use this?